Nathan.
Hi, everybody.
No, you got it today.
Oh.
Did you not understand that? It's yours today.
Greetings and salutations, ahoy, friends. Welcome to the Marvel Roundtable.
You guys are excited for this
Here we are.
I'm excited for this one. This one will be a good one for sure. See you guys on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
jamming out to those tunes.
Izzy made a great intro reel. So hey, look at this. Adam's here already. Adam, what's going on?
Hey.
Matt, why don't you introduce our guest, man? We'll bring him in.
So we have a phenomenal guest tonight, everybody. Been looking forward to having him on for a while. You all know him. You all love him. Chris Foreman.
Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
Oh, am I here?
No.
This is me? Can you see me? Hear me?
You're here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, everybody loves me? Like, am I the? Oh, that's awesome, man. And it's nice to be loved.
Yeah. So we wanted to have Chris on. I've been admiring his work for a while. I've actually got a card I picked up a while back in the Frank Miller style here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That Wolverine.
God, man. It's so crazy to see stuff that you've done, and people are like, I got this in my collection. I'm so happy with it. I'm like,
oh yeah,
that's awesome, man. It's a very surreal feeling.
Well, I mean, like, I know a lot of people really love your work, man, and we appreciate you coming on and talking about, like, the process and, how you got into, drawing sketch cards and what work you have in the future. And like I said, we're just going to enjoy you drawing a sketch or, finishing up a sketch if you want. And then also chat. We have some sketches he's done, some APs that he's got. We'll be auctioning off those throughout the show as well. And Adam, I completely agree. Chris does awesome work.
Thank you.
And we've seen a lot of your warm up sketches. That we've tried to let our friends know about at 3 a.m. Hey,
oh man, I know. I'm sorry.
You have to have. But so
I can't help it. That's the only time I get any work done.
I understand.
Fuller,
I work.
Fuller's DM box is blowing up all night while he's trying to sleep.
Matt, telling people to go through a rock through Norin's window to wake him up because you had that Silver Surfer, she posted to the group.
Oh yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I got a few questions. So how long have you been a sketch card artist? Like, what was your first official set you worked on? Like, was it a Marvel set or was it another label or imprint, like Cryptozoic or something like that, or like DC or?
So, I've been, I get asked this question a lot at the conventions all the time because everybody's kind of curious, like, how the hell do you get into the? Oh, am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Believe me,
I guess like I say sometimes. So
much
first
worse
7
than
seconds.
hell.
Good.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, no, really, what happened was I went to a small convention here in Houston, or right outside of Houston. This was 2007 or 2008. And I ran into John Hughes. And that's a name that you might be familiar with if you've been doing cards since Rittenhouse. He's done a lot of sketch cards for a lot of the older sets. And he had on his table, splayed across his table, just innumerous amounts of sketch cards. And I was like, as a fan of just trading cards, I was like, oh man, are these from other? It's like, I've never seen these before. It's like, oh no, these are sketch cards. I'm like, well, what the hell's a sketch card? And he goes, oh no, it's this cool thing where people just like to have original art and not have to spend an arm and a leg to get it and stuff like that. I was like, oh cool. I was like, I think I ended up asking I think he was selling for like $30 or something. And we got to talking. And I said, yeah, I'm an artist, man. I've been drawing. I was the kid drawing in school. I was always that kid. And he's like, he saw that as an opportunity to say, well, hey, do you want to do an art trade? I was like, oh great, yeah, sure. So we ended up trading sketch cards of the Joker. This is around 2000. When did Dark Knight come out? Was it 2008? Is that right?
Our memories here.
Right.
Yeah, was it that long ago?
The Joker was big. It was the Heath Ledger Joker, and so I was, I loved the movie, and I was obsessed with it. So we did the art trade with that.
2008.
Fast forward, I don't know how many weeks later. Oh, okay, there you go. He goes, "Hey man," he's like, "Interested in doing this as work?" I was like, "Oh no, can I make money doing it? Or is it just like, you know?" He's like, "Admittedly, probably not." He said, "But he said the way this industry works is people who commit and really try to learn and grow in this market, and people who just kind of blow through it. You know what I mean? Not to say that's not to down anybody's work, but you are going to see cards that are just 3-minute spectaculars, and then you're going to see cards that people put a lot of time and effort into. That anyway, long story short, see. I was gonna be long-winded. This is exactly what I was talking about.
You're good, man.
That's fine.
Good. It's good insight.
He said, "Hey, man." He goes, he's like, I think it's working for the county doing water, like sewage and crap like that. A horrible job. But he's like, "I know you're miserable. You hate your job. Move in with me for 6 months, and I will get you involved in this, and I will help you establish your name." I was like, "Oh crap!" But I to work, in the art industry somehow. Obviously, I've done a few variants over the years, but I haven't done like sequential work for any big. And I was like, you know what, dude, I'm doing it. Like I'm with Faith, and I moved out with him into his house, and I lost my truck got repossessed. But I was paying too much for that thing anyways. It was like a Ford F with like $5 something a month on it. I was young, dumb, just wanted a really cool truck that was loud. I live in Texas. It's kind of our thing. So
I'm in Louisiana. So
It is.
it's the same culture here. So.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So long story short is I moved in. We started throwing sketch cards on eBay that I had drawn, and in my personal opinion, they're awful. I hate seeing my old work, but we would start them off at like 99 cents opening bid, which is hilarious now looking back at it, because you're like, I'm sure if I did that now, I'm sure it would cause an uproar with people wondering what the hell's the matter with me. But day in, day out, I had a checklist of characters. Like, you probably see a post like, "Hey, what are you guys looking for in these warm-ups?" I would do that back in the day on DeviantArt. So we're really dating this conversation. Yeah. I would be excited when a card would be bid up to $10. I thought I was rolling in the dough, right? Then he goes, we're probably a couple months in. He goes, "All right, man, I got this email I'm going to give to you, and I want you to put together some samples, and send it in to I forget the guy's name at Rittenhouse, but he comes back with the email. The guy that I emailed, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I was curious when you're going to contact us." I'm thinking like, what do you mean when I was going to contact? You know what I mean? Like,
right? Like, why didn't you just call me?
Yeah, seriously. Like, I'd be happy. All you had to do was say something. But okay, so my first official Marvel set was Dangerous Divas, and like I said, I'm not happy with any of them. And for any of you guys, if you have any of them, if you're happy with them, that makes me happy. As an artist, though, like I wish I could go back, and I might do that. I've been flirting with the idea of going back and finding these older cards I drew and redoing them, reimagining them now. I feel like that'd be better. But yeah, Dangerous Divas 2011.
I think that was 2000.
Mr. Fuller.
No, it was earlier.
Fact check the artist.
I want to say it was 12.
God.
But
Okay, so then before that, then what I did was, oh yeah, so you want to know what first that I did was, right? Like completely,
Yeah.
Treasure Chest and Booty for Axebone, followed closely by Hack Slash, the
anime?
Cassie Hack anime. Was it? Yeah, with she like kills killers or whatever.
Yeah.
She kills slashers. Those were the first ones I did professionally, and then like I said, just months and months and months of drawing until I got the gig on Dangerous Divas, and it just kind of went from there. Like next thing you know, it's this. Oh, here's Marvel Universe. Here's Avengers. Here's this. Here's that, and it just kind of went from there, man. And then obviously Rittenhouse, for whatever reason, lost the license or didn't want the license anymore.
Yeah.
And everybody just kind of shifted over to Upper Deck. So
Divas was 2011.
2011, my God. Yeah.
I know. You blink and literally it's a decade later. Well, so we've all reached that age, I think, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
Chris,
Yeah.
early on, you said some of your work wasn't the best. Like you looking at it now, you want to go back and you want to redo it. What were some of the challenges you had with starting in like the sets?
You know, the Rittenhouse cards, I don't know if you guys know this or not. You probably do. Whenever you were sent the blanks, they were uncut. They were 5x7 cards
Right.
with like a, and they didn't give you, there wasn't a guideline to tell you, oh, here's the 2.5 by 3.5 window. So I went and like fashioned my own like window to see what my working image, working area was. And I would sketch in that square with a pencil, after I put the little, like that. There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I would get that way. I knew exactly where not to waste my ink and my time. So, creating an image on a 2.5 by 3.5 card is a discipline all its own. I don't want to pretend to tell you that it's easy, because it's not. Because as collectors, you guys know like what it's appealing to you and what's not. I think to some degree, just like comics, you want to tell a story in the image, right? So you want to make something that's appealing. That's hard to do in such a small area. That was the hardest thing. And then obviously paying attention to like I said, I was a kid in high school who, messed around and dicked around drawing pictures, and I would trade old Flea Ultra X-Men cards back when those were big when I was a kid. We would trade them with, out of our binders at school, or I would sell them for money to get extra burrito at the snack bar,
Yeah.
We've all been there, yeah.
Trey wants to know what is your favorite comic scent?
Comic
Scent, like smell.
scent, like smell.
That's got to be some sort of inside thing with you and Jerry.
Oh,
Do you pull the spine apart and take a big
I
whiff on those fresh baked comics?
Yeah, I like those ones that have been sitting in moldy bags. No, honestly, I like the newsprint. Honestly, so quick story on that. Growing up, my grandparents had a box full of old Archie comics. And they lived out in the country.
Copic. And
these were the comics they would buy for my parents or for my dad and my uncles and stuff to read. And I would, when we have family get-togethers, I would, of course, participate in stuff, but I would just read the same comics over and over again, but sniffing them like they were, like I'm some kind of creep. You know what I mean? Like, you can imagine you put it to your face real slow, and you're like, that's kind of the same thing. But
They do have that unique scent. Like, not that I'm in the back, like pulling them out of the bag and going, it's a nice vintage, it has a nice wafting effect. This Beavis and Butthead #1 in comparison to the Spawn one with the glossy pages,
Right.
But yeah, no, I completely understand.
it was a culture shock when they came up with that glossy paper. It wasn't the same.
Smell kind of like sensor.
Matt, do you do that with the sketch cards, like the oils versus the Copics, and be like,
I tend to lick them instead. So
That's a blending technique that we use when we don't have a blender. We just kind of use our tongue, in weird ways on the card. So there's an industry secret as a little piece of us with every card you get.
you just
So you're
got
saying there's
DNA.
DNA on the cards.
It's just like Jurassic Park, right? We can recreate them.
You could clone me. Yeah, if you had the money, you could clone me, and you wouldn't have to buy cards from me anymore. You just have your own little like busted ass version of me, like kill me, and,
Yeah.
So I'm amazed at how much detail you can put on the card. Do you have like a big old thing of like Salon Paws you kind of slather all over your hands before you start drawing? Because I can't imagine having to do that amount of detail in such a small space. It's got to cause like major hand cramping.
I'm gonna knock on wood since you
Okay.
mentioned that. Luckily, I haven't had that problem yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I do woodworking. Just the amount of work I do, it just, man, I got to take breaks and just go put the Prilocaine lidocaine cream all over my hands, for 10 minutes, let it sit, and then go back to work. So, oh, cool. We're showing
Oh
some of
God.
this stuff here.
Oh wow, this is fancy. This is my Instagram?
Yes, this
Your
is your
Instagram,
Instagram.
yeah.
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
Oh crap, that's cool.
So I
Who's
guess
Mr. Jayhawk fan? Is that one of you guys?
No,
He's
that's
in
one
the
of our
chat every now and then.
friends in chat.
He pops into the streams. He's a really cool dude.
He's serial liking me right now. So that's a good thing. I'm not complaining.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And if y'all want like a commission or, want to reach out to Chris, about APs, feel free to go to his Instagram and send him a message. because that's what we're here for, is to get him work, and showcase his art, and just try to bring awareness that there's so many great artists
Hey,
out
there he
there
is.
that
He's here.
can do your
He's
own
here.
personal
Oh,
commission.
hey, there he is.
for
Yeah.
'em. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Now I will tell you guys, and I'm sure a few of you have. And you said Matt's here.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up,
Fuller.
buddy?
I'm another
So,
Matt. Yeah, that guy down there.
I'm sure I know Matt's commissioned me before, and one of the things about getting a commission for me, and I'm sure with the same with a lot of artists, especially artists that
There you go.
are constantly working on sets or getting commissions. I never have a closed or open commission list. It's just a rotating amorphous thing that I tell everybody, like, I'll do your commission, but here's kind of the window that you're looking at before, you know what I mean? Before
Yeah.
money. And I feel bad because sometimes life gets in the way. Like, I've got a 9-month-old daughter, and we just, it's fun. It's a fun job to have, but I've had, a few guys that get upset, even though I told them, like, oh, it's going to be this long or whatever. And I get it. I know it's, you don't want to hand out interest-free loans to people and not get your work and stuff like that. But for those listening who have never got anything from me or anything like that, I can assure you, you'll get your work. And I like to think the wait is worth it. You know what I mean? I like that Invisible Woman. I took a lot of chances on that card.
I love it, man.
Yeah, that was.
I was so happy no
there's
one
this
picked it up when I woke up.
Doom's got it?
I picked it up, bro. Someone slept on it.
Nice.
I jumped in the group and it was available. Like, oh, I got to get it.
Oh, that's awesome! Thank you. I appreciate it, man. There's this pin, and I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me try to. It's this pin from a company called Tombow. It's like a white little. What it does is you draw with it. You see this white felt tip or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You use it, but it goes on invisible, and it shows up like 2 seconds later, and it's translucent. It's opaque. And so if you look at that card of the Invisible Woman, all those circles and stuff like that, that's what that was.
Oh,
and then I'd feather it in, so it gives the idea she's putting up these blocks, you know what I mean, of like invisible shields. And I was really like, holy shit, this is awesome.
That is cool.
That's
I can't wait to bust out that again.
Bad Wizard did ask, do you ever do any time lapses?
I haven't yet, man. I've got this little jank thing I bought from Walmart a while back. It's looks like a snake almost, and it's a little shaky. It doesn't it's not a steady cam type thing. I'd love to. I've been told by a million people, hey, do TikTok, and I've never done a TikTok before in my life. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd have to crash course. But I definitely would be interested, because I like to think that if I did those and put like cool music to it or whatever, it can't do anything but help my case. You know what I mean? As far as getting the work out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to buckle down and do it. I refer back to the previous statement. Like they send me so much work that I don't, and I'm a fool for being like, sure. I say that. No, I no regrets. I love what I do, but it's a source of income. So
how many cards do you typically do for a set?
Back in the day, man, they'd say 100. I'm like, sure, but that was insane. The most I've done recently for a set has been about 60 at the most.
Okay.
So they're kind of quasi rare, I guess, which is interesting, because I think as an artist, if you're not keeping an eye on the aftermarket to see what your cards are doing, you're not doing yourself a justice. You know what I mean? It's so weird, like Google for eBaying yourself, but again, I go back to the other thing. I see a lot of my old cards on there, and I'm thinking, ugh, don't put that on there. It's awful. But then the inverse is, if it's not if it's all the stuff I don't like, older stuff, I look at the other side of the coin and say, I assume that the collectors are holding on to the newer, better stuff and not selling it. You know what I mean?
That is so cool.
I know e-pack is a thing that I don't fully understand, but I know a lot of it's like you have to collect so many digital cards to get real cards or something like that.
Yeah, so you get it's like you're buying an actual pack of cards, but the base cards for most part are digital, and then as you convert, like say some sets it's 5, some sets it's 10, you'll go up to like the next tier card, and then there are some where if you combine like 100, you'll get a much rarer card, basically. Like for Spider-Man Metal, you combine.
Oh, these are like
10
unlockable or something like that, and the only way to get them is on there.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to basically take your digital base, combine them all, and then you get that next to your card. And then so I get, like, for example, Spider-Man Metal, you would get 10 base cards. That would unlock a neon blue. And then you collect 100 base cards or 10 neon blues. You can then basically cash those in for a much rarer card, like a neon green card. That's how that works.
Good grief, that sounds like a
you're
lot.
basically feeding the monster to constantly get those rare cards or trading. So if you hit a big card, and you want to get a whole bunch of digital base, you can give that short print card to someone in exchange for a lot of digital base and convert that. So, but I've tried to trade a few times for a few of your cards from Fleer Ultra Avengers, and nobody's budging on those. They want to keep them, man. They just want to hold on to those cards, and I respect them. Honestly, I wouldn't want to give them up either. So
yeah, Chris, you should definitely check it out.
I get it.
There's 120 of your sketches on there right now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. You can see where some of them have ended up that way.
Yeah, you can go back and look at the sets you've worked on. There's a product checklist, and then you go in there and you can basically look at the sketch card list. You'll see all the artists, and if there's any sketches that are available for trade or in the marketplace, they may not be available. It's just somebody hasn't locked them, so you can lock your cards to make sure nobody tries to ask you for it in a trade if you're not willing to trade it. But yeah, you can see what stuff is still available in that marketplace to trade. Like I said, I offered like a bunch of cards, like probably $400 worth of cards, and they were like, nope.
What sketch was it that you were trying to give up $400?
I think it was a Captain America sketch that I wanted
for like a regular pack pulled sketch card. I say that like they're easy to come across, but
no, people definitely want to keep.
I'm about to bump up my APs. I'm just kidding.
That's between you and the purchaser. But speaking of APs, so we mentioned earlier we were talking about you have two APs. If we're gonna go back to that Venom card,
Venom?
You can show that. Yeah, the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're gonna pull it up on here. We got it. So
okay.
Chris does have this one that he does have available if anybody's interested in purchasing this.
What's up,
what we could do is we can do an auction, and start the bidding. You want to start at like $100, Chris? Is that what you wanted to start at?
I feel comfortable with that, man. I know, I know that set, because I shop at Target. I'm a Target shopper. I know that set sits in those little $30 blasters. So obviously, it's a niche set. That's why I drew, a heavy hitter character as opposed to, like a Falcon. No offense to Falcon, but like, he's a niche character. Like
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we're gonna start at $100, and go from there, and we'll put about like a 10-minute timer on it, and while we're looking at that, see if anybody's interested in that card.
Yeah,
I guess we'll go ahead.
Going. I'll keep an eye on chat. You guys do that. I'll just pop up the leading bid in the comments.
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and start working on your sketch, or if you have one you're currently working on, we can show that in the middle of the screen.
You know what? Yeah, let me bear with me here because I got to.
Yeah, you're okay.
Got to go settings
and
get
you all set.
Switch stuff around.
Coopik.
Okay,
what's going on, Ash? Yeah, let's get you over. All right, guys. If you're interested in the Falcon and Winter Soldier AP, the Venom there, starting bid is $100. Just put it in the chat. All proceeds go to Mr. Foreman. He's going to do some live sketching here for us as well.
Yep. And I'm just curious.
Proceeds go to my bill collectors.
Yeah. What is that, a hella sketch, or what character is that you're working on?
It is a hella sketch. No, so like, the what's her name back in the day used to do a lot of the chibi style. I'm blanking. Katie Cook, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was her. That was kind of like her bag. Everybody was really into that, and obviously Scotty Young kind of brought it to the forefront for just like the regular collecting. And stuff like that, and then we kept getting these in our paperwork that said, "Do not draw chibi," and I was like, I messaged, emailed, and I was like, "But why?" Like, I feel like people like them, right? And so, I just started doing a few in sets, and then they were like, "Oh, you want to be on this Marvel anime?" And talk about regret, man. Like, I I had no idea. Like I don't have my ear to the streets as far as like what the hot set's going to be when beforehand. Like I know a lot of you guys probably, talk to other artists, and I know we've probably given away, oh yeah, this set's coming out without knowing it and crap like that. I mean, we're supposed to sign these things that we don't talk about this stuff, but come on. So, but I had no idea that the chibi was going to be so popular on that anime set. Like I said, I had APs for anime. Did I do anime 1?
Yep.
Yes. I had those and sold those really fast, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder why these are selling fast." And then, like, you see what the regular ones are going for, you're like, "Oh, god damn it!" And so, this is a commission.
Okay.
They're fun, right? They're fun. It's something unique
Absolutely.
and different.
Yeah.
And so this is for a customer who was Hella and was like, "I want to get a chibi version of Hella." I was like, "All right, cool, man, dope." So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I really like the chibi style. It's grown on me. At first, I was kind of but I pulled actually for FUA. I pulled a chibi sketch that Jeff Benitez had done of Wave from Agents of Atlas, and I ultimately it just doesn't fit my PC, so I found somebody that does love it and added to their collection, and then I was able to take the funds from that and get a MVL Scarlet Spider that I had my eyes on. That
I just love the little autograph that you add to the front of the cards.
Yeah, the scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I'm showing. I don't know if you can see all these. We get the Blink, and then picked up some of your APs. This one's mine.
That's cool.
Oh, that was awesome.
Right,
Yeah.
Cipher and Bird.
I wonder if I can pull this. I wonder if I can pull this up on my PC because I'm on my phone right now for this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me, because I know you guys sent me a link earlier on what was it, Instagram?
Instagram. Yep. StreamYard.
I wonder if I can jump in as a guest from my computer and watch.
Yeah, you can, or you can just go to Derpadoo's channel, and then you can watch on YouTube. Just mute it there, otherwise you'll get reverb back through.
Yep.
Oh crap! Okay, that's right. Oh, you guys are live on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
We don't.
Bear
don't
with me here. I'm
It's
technologically.
easier for them.
Oh, that's fine, man. Take your time.
They don't get as nervous when you don't tell them that they're going to be live.
That's all good. What's the channel called again? Derpa?
The channel is called.
It's the Derpa show. Yes.
I can. I'll shoot you the link in Instagram, Chris. Your message through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on the struggle bus right now. Like I said, I'm just.
No worries,
good.
So yeah, good friend Andrew. He just wanted to say that he loves your art and your style is timeless. Details, colors, techniques are always on point, which is correct. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
going to
God.
get
Thank
to
you. I appreciate that.
anime sketches, and then he's going to jump on. I'm going to have to go back.
All right, Chris. I sent you the link to the YouTube stream and Instagram.
Okay. I'm trying to get logged in on Instagram on my desktop right now.
Yeah, you're good. No worries, man.
Last time I've done.
We'll keep going through some of my others while we're waiting for him to log on.
Yep.
So I love this Black Diamond set, and so he did all 5 of the original X-Men in this portrait style with this nice light, and I have there's an AP.
Oh, that's cool.
Combo breaker there.
I like that. The cover recreation.
I have 4 of them, and I have been unable for years to get the Iceman from the guy on eBay. He just will not trade it.
Oh man.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, right.
You didn't tell him that you needed that one, did you?
At this point, he must know.
He's like, your tears are
He's like, oh yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I don't know. He's one of the few that I don't have him connected to a real name. So for all I know, he secretly hates me, and he's just laughing up my tears.
So you have to get an
man.
intermediary.
Yeah.
You have to get that mixer,
we got
that middleman.
We got the Kupik challenge going on in chat here.
I feel like I've hijacked his drawing. Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
no.
He's
He's trying to get logged in there. So.
Yeah, no, it's not you. It's definitely me. for whatever reason, normally my computer is pretty lightning fast on getting the stuff, but now, not. It wants to take its time.
That Mystique was nice.
Let's
I
see.
really like that.
Message request.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. Yep.
There we go.
And Avengers.
Yeah, love that one.
And then you'll just have to mute it so that way, because you'll still hear us live if you're listening on the YouTube stream. It'll be a delay, and then you'll get feedback coming through, so you'll be hearing yourself like twice.
Oh, okay.
I really like the
Turn the
composition of
volume
this
off.
one with just Dakin's arm in the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny when you're talking about like the composition. Anytime you draw like a Dakin or a Wolverine, God, dude, everybody wants to see the claws, and I totally get that. But one of the hardest things to do is to draw a card of Wolverine or somebody with claws like that, and not have it look like the same one everyone else has done a million times.
Yep.
It's difficult because you want it to stand out. Okay, look, I think I've got it. Okay, like I see a Wolverine here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
There you go.
So I'll go to the end, and then I'll go back to the end.
Like I'm looking at these. Some of these say 2020. Is that Firelord's ass?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You should know. You drew it.
Yeah. Right.
Should I though? I've drawn so many cards.
I've drawn so many asses, people. I can't keep track of all the.
That one was outsourced.
I've drawn so much cake. I can't remember.
It's like I'm waiting for the day that the artists start doing like the Tom Clancy thing. It's ghost written. It's ghost drawn. Just put their little signature thing on it.
Oh my god!
The whole point
if
of this,
only,
Chris,
if only I could do that.
yeah, was to show the anime ones.
Yeah.
With the cheap
Oh yeah, see that blink is cool. And speaking of that, so like 2020, like there you go. This is Matt stuff, right?
Yep.
I was about, yeah, because he was like, "Have you ever drawn this character before?" I was like, "I've seen pictures of her, but no, never."
That's amazing.
So
Oh my
I discovered these markers. You've probably seen them, the Copics.
Yep.
Or no, I'm talking.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Poscas.
We are very familiar with Copic.
These things are godsend.
All right. Well,
There's another one, yeah.
so there's some sharing. Let's get back to the main event.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So the current bid is $100 by the gentleman
This,
below me right here, Mr.
Are awesome.
Mm-hmm. Matt has the lead on the Venom,
Looking at.
the Venom AP from Falcon. and
Oh,
Winter
sweet.
Soldier.
Okay.
That's how Matt
Well,
do.
appreciate it, man.
So that's why I joined Roundtable. Get first dibs.
No, but to be fair, he gives people plenty of time.
Constantly a
Gives
busy
people
guy on
plenty
that.
of time.
Yeah.
This is the I'm gonna put
The
this
group
up.
keeps you busy, man.
All right.
This is current bid on this is owned by Mr. Fuller, $100 on the Venom AP sketch from Falcon and Winter Soldier, done by Mr. Chris Foreman here. If you want to bid on that, just comment in the chat.
Is there any way I can bring my camera closer to the image, or is that?
Yeah, you just got to pull it closer.
Yeah.
So you like if you got one of those
Okay,
little
because
snake
like I said,
arms,
this
you
is like a
just have
jank little.
Yep, you just got to pull it closer. That's about the only way. There's
It's
not,
gonna get
it
so
doesn't-
close that it's gonna get so close that I can't like work on it. Okay.
There you go.
Just don't get a crink in your neck from
Let's
trying
see.
to crane around it. We don't want you
Right.
injuring
It's like
yourself.
now he's see the artist drawing through the phone versus like the card openers. We got to look through the phone to see the cards. The artists are going to feel how we feel now, like looking around while you're trying to draw it.
Can you say?
Oh my
what
god! Yeah, if
feature
this is
sets-
what you guys have to deal with. Oy.
Oh, that's fine. We just appreciate
Future
you coming
set?
on.
Matt, that
Yeah,
question's off limits.
Um,
Matt.
Feature sets
That question's
you
off
got,
limits, Matt.
Oh, it is. Oh, sorry.
That question's off limits.
Damn it.
We don't want to put. We don't
Matt,
want to put
Matt,
them
I'll
in
tell
a
you-
position
No,
where
yeah,
they can
we-
potentially get in trouble.
like already announced sets, I guess. Like you haven't a checklist out, so I guess Like, do you have anything in?
I'll tell you
anime?
what. I don't know at this point. Like the
know what
yes,
day it is.
absolutely. If
Did
you
you do
throw me
anything for
names
the
of
mat-
sets, I
were-
can that are.
Were you on the master? Were you in the masterpieces set, Chris?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nice.
I'm just curious if there's anything that's been listed on eBay lately. I haven't looked because my wallet won't let me look at eBay recently. So
Search.
yeah, I broke my phone screen this month, so it's just like, there goes all your card money. Bye.
Chris Foreman sketch returns 59 results.
Oh my god. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to see some of that older stuff. And I'm gonna be like, no, or you know what? Better yet, go ahead and buy it. That way, it's no longer on there. And that way, maybe newer stuff will pop up.
We see some of your Walking Dead
And
work.
I don't mean to be self-deprecating, you know.
What's up, Humpties? How's it going, guys? If we didn't chat,
Walking Dead. Oh yeah.
We just want to chat. If you're here, thank you for watching. We just wanted to make sure the conversation was still going with Chris. But thank you all for coming in and joining us.
Let me see if I can turn this camera kind of to. Let me see if I can give it a little bit of a.
Josh
If I can
says, "Tell
turn
me
it to the side a little bit."
camera 2 in settings, the zoomed camera, if it's not already."
Oh, didn't know that's a thing you can do.
Let's see here. We'll show some of these ones. Newest listed here for Chris's sketches in eBay. We got the Spidey sense going off from 2021 Spider-Verse. Thunderbird from 2018 Masterpieces.
That's an awesome sketch.
Bugs Bunny from
Oh,
Space
wow.
Jam.
Well, thank you.
We got Wolverine from the Upper Deck Marvel Thor. 2009 Star
That's what I'm
Wars
saying.
Collectors.
Like Star Wars.
That's still pretty. Yeah, 2009 Star Wars Collectors Expo 10th Anniversary Auto Sketch. Chris Foreman, rare.
Oh,
It's like a chibi of Magneto.
okay. Yeah, that was
$14. It's gone.
Oh my god, it's
Oh, that black cat.
crazy. That was the first time.
Ian.
You know, I don't think Ian likes cleavage on his black cat, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Well, then that explains a lot.
Because I feel like
Not sure
he
where
wants
that
his-
one's
I
going.
think he wants his.
Hey,
No, I think he wants his to
you
be
take
more.
that as you want.
See,
He wants his to be more like realistic. Like it would make sense that this person's wearing this kind
Yeah.
of outfit. Yeah. Iron
Right.
Fist. 2022 Allure. That's pretty cool. Nice. Walking Dead.
Show.
Yeah.
That Walking Dead set was just slept on. There was some
Mhm.
great stuff in there.
Yeah.
so there's actually a Walking Dead card I've been looking for that I forget the artist's name. He was doing very realistic looking sketches. He had put a call out on Facebook to say, "Oh, hey, if you want to be in the Walking Dead set, send me a picture of your face and I'll zombify you." I was like,
Brad
"Oh, this is fun."
Brad Utterstorm.
It doesn't sound familiar.
Well,
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure because that's where I am the one who got that, and I got a zombified card.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, there's a card of me as a zombie that I would love to own. Never see it pop up on
Hulk Smash.
anything. So,
Psylocke. From
oh,
Premiere.
Maelstrom. God, that,
Oh, the Maelstrom?
yeah,
Yeah, the 2011 Rittenhouse.
my stomach hurts.
That's still better than Alonzo's cloak or
Oh my
Melfi's
gosh.
Venom from the recent sets.
You know, and I think a lot of it has to do with time constraint. I feel like because they want these. I'll be honest with you, like they keep sending me like, hey, you know, we need this. Here's the date on here, and I immediately come back with like, nope. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but you guys keep throwing sets at me, and I don't have the time. Like, I would love to do these for you, but your boy needs a break. Like, give me another couple weeks at least, for a month or something. You know?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a nice dual panel black cat right there.
Yeah, we've heard from like we had Ariel Lamani on the first time, the first artist we had on, and he told us that he had 160 sketches he did for annual,
Oh
and
my
they
god!
had to be done in a month.
Hell no! Ugh.
Yeah, so and he said he was just
Oh,
he got to the point where he just hated drawing because he was having to draw like 3 or 4 a day, 5 a day.
Matt,
Oh,
you
you know
know
what?
who?
I wonder if I can show you some sketches, but I can maybe hide the
The
logo.
logo. That is
Yeah,
your
let me see.
choice, sir.
Well, no,
just
that's
posted-
fine.
Character.
I posted the answer. It'll pop up in a second.
It'll pop up. Okay.
Okay, here's let
Don't
me
show
hide
the
that logo.
Jubilee.
Her name's Molly Hayes.
Molly Hayes. There you go.
There's
Don't show the
you see that?
sketch. Oh, hold on. Give me a
I
second here.
think we're.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the Cyclops. That's
Wow.
nice.
Mystery set.
That's pretty fun. Mystery set that yeah, exactly. Lucy's claw.
The claw.
You're afraid of the claw. The fun Iron Man.
Yeah.
I love the retro
These
Iron
these
Man.
Posca markers. Yeah, these Posca markers have made it really more convenient for doing lighting effects on your cards. Because it's just been hard to, and plus, to be fair, I don't use the blender marker. I don't like the blender marker, so it just takes too much time. So,
Oh.
you know. This one's pretty fun. Somebody told me it was kind of rare to get multiple characters on one card.
Absolutely.
Is this the real life? Is it just fantasy?
That's exactly what I was going for, yeah.
In your eyes.
Too good.
Okay, I'm done.
Too good. What's up, Marvel Marshall? How are you doing?
I'm glad you picked up on it, man.
Yeah, no, I immediately knew what that was.
I wonder how many screenshots, screen caps people are taking right now. Probably a few.
Oh, you know they are.
You've shared a few of these in the
That's
group
cool.
before, because I noticed some of these images. I recognize.
Yeah, and I tried to scratch out the logo, best I can.
Yeah. So we don't want to get anybody in trouble.
This one's
we
pretty
appreciate you sharing
interesting,
with us,
Exactly.
and as long as you're
right?
not showing the actual set, you should be fine.
Yeah.
I fear some of the stuff I'm showing you might be a dead giveaway, but like I said, I can neither confirm nor deny anything.
I can't really tell. I
In
mean, because you got
regards
a
to-
mixed bag of characters. It's not like it's all
It's all
a particular
X
team,
guys and
like
girls,
Avengers
spoiler.
or X-Men, or yeah. So
Spoiler, it's all upper deck.
That's true. Yeah.
speaking
Okay.
of that,
What? Dude, you just ruined my whole life.
have you seen some of the work from like the Finding Unicorn set that's come out by some of the artists like Jeff Benitez and
I have.
Mendoza? And is that something you'd ever be interested in? Like, are you locked into? I don't know if you can talk about contracts, but like, are you restricted from being able to work on another set right now until your contract's up with one company over another? or-
I'm not opposed to it.
okay.
No. It's the contracts you do for these are just like basic kind of like a work thing. So by no means is it like a exclusivity. If it was, then they'd be paying me a lot more per card. Then I'd probably see that. But not that I make beans or anything. But like if you're trying to make it where I can only draw for you, then that's a whole different ballgame. But
Yeah.
no, I've definitely seen the Finding Unicorn, and I'm sure you're familiar with Rihanna and Owens. Her and I were just guests at a show in Hawaii not too long ago, and we were talking, and she's waiting because we're interested, but if you're going to, we're not coming over for basically. That makes sense. Like, we'd be happy to bring over, for lack of a better term, our brand to help your brand. Are we going to just do it for free? You know what I mean? Because her and I, and there's a lot of artists that do this who've been doing it for a while, and you got to know your worth, right? It's kind of like I was saying earlier. You kind of have to understand what you bring to the table, and you got to know what to ask for and what to look for in the way of, value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are a lot of old school images of characters. So this set's based on an old school, thing. That's the most I can say.
Gotcha.
So this one
Something
was
that
this,
was
a lot of fun because this is based off
Universal.
of something. Yeah, this was these are some of the stuff is based off of panels from a comic book, so obviously, right? But
And I've seen some of your comic covers that you've drawn. I actually watched a video earlier today where you were drawing on a comic, and it looked like it was a basketball player holding Thor's hammer, I think. And you talked about I think it was William Robinson actually, the writer who's in our chat normally, that had posted it, and like I remember you saying like the guy had a weird request. He wanted Thor's hammer in this basketball player's, I think it was Shaquille O'Neal's hands, maybe, or something. But yeah, it was an older video,
something like that. Yeah.
a few years back. Yeah. So, do you have you ever thought about working on a comic book, or had maybe reached out to you about that?
I've got a few ideas for some independent. A lot of guys that get into the comic industry want to work on the big properties to put that notch on their belt. And that's totally understandable. For me, I'm not opposed to doing it, but if they don't get me wrong, if I got an email tomorrow saying, "Oh, hey, we want to work you on this Spider-Man book or whatever," I'm doing it in a heartbeat. But with what IPs are doing now in the way of creators, controlling their IP, and these independent books get picked up for movies and streaming series and cartoons and all this other stuff. These guys are making they're not just making a name. They're putting their stamp on history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've got some really cool ideas for some. Yeah,
Image,
exactly.
doing his thing, and then
I kind of want to go that route.
Empire, yeah.
Exactly. And so that's kind of where my head is at with that. Ideas for some children's books I want to do and stuff like that. And this is going to require the time and attention I'm not opposed to doing anything big, but I've got some ideas I want to try to cultivate as well.
I know, talking to Ash, he's now my meme buddy on Instagram. We're constantly sending just random reels that pop up in our feed.
Oh my God.
Back and forth. Ash absolutely hates drawing hair. Is there a part of the body, like on the sketch card, that you have, that you hate drawing, like hands or feet or any other part of the anatomy? I'm just going to leave it with that.
Well, judging by that Fire Lord earlier, you can tell I'm all about the. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really care for hair either, to be honest with you. And it's not that not that I can't do it or anything. Just it's so time consuming, and hair. The whole point of the hair is to convey the kinetic energy of the image, and it's either hit or miss. There's no in between. You're not gonna, you're going to draw it, and either the person looking at it's going to knows how hair works, or he has no fucking idea how hair works. And that's kind of like that's kind of the pain in the butt about hair.
I've asked other artists that same question, and like Ash is like, I hate hair. I absolutely hate it. But you look at his sketches, and it's phenomenal. Like, I mean, he may hate doing it, but it comes out marvelous. Honestly, and I haven't seen any bad hair sketches, bad hair day sketches from you at all. I've looked at a lot of your work too. So, but I was just curious. It's something that kind of popped in my head to hey, do you like hair? I don't know. That's a weird question. Never mind. Moving on.
No, it's fine. It's a legitimate question. Like back in the day, people used to ask me who my least favorite character to draw was, and I would always say I didn't like drawing Rain. Because he's another character that either you understand the character and you can harness him, or you can't. He's a little furball, crazy little bastard. And if you can't, you can't do that, then you're not. You know what I mean? But I've done so many of these cards now, and I've done so much it's basically just practice, right? Like every card you do, you try to learn something from it and carry it over to the next piece. And I've grown to appreciate Wolverine as a character because you can tell the story with his face and the coloring and the posing and all his like wild facial hair. Like there's just so much to him as a character that if you figure him out, he's a lot of fun to draw. And I like how we're calling Ash's artwork sketches when they're more like small miniature museum quality oil paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Ash puts his own unique spin on, like, you normally see like a really bulky Wolverine, short, and for the most part he's drawing Wolverine as like a normal person, basically, who's not overly muscular, who looks like somebody who could actually be a real like superhero in real life, like Hugh Jackman,
Right.
he's not overly bulky, he's not 5'2" though, like comic accurate Wolverine, of course, but yeah, no, I completely understand.
Well, I can tell you, Neil Adams told me at a show one time in Las Vegas because I've done so many shows where I would talk to him and my work and ask him for pointers that we kind of became like first name basis,
Mhm.
And I was showing him a Batman I had done on a sketch cover, and he looks at me and he goes, "Chris, do you know how to draw people?" I was like, sometimes. And he goes, "Look," he's like, "I'm going to tell you like this." He said, "If you not using reference photography, reference books, and of course giving credit where credit's due, but like if you're not referencing real life, then you're not doing it right." You know what I mean? And so I can tell you, looking at Ash's work, it's a beautiful, beautiful work. But if you don't think he's using reference, you're out of your mind. Of course he's using reference, and that's smart. Like, to get the images he's getting, he's really proficient at Google, or he's got some amazing books of different photographers' work and stuff like that, where maybe, he's just really good at finding some royalty-free images that are just really dynamic and diverse. Because he's got such hard lighting in his images that makes the hard, or the light source pop so hard.
Mhm.
But I think that's just part of the charm of his work. You know what I mean? I think he's an amazing artist. You know what's funny about that? Him and I live in the same city. We've never talked or like hung out or anything.
So we invited him to come on tonight, but he had other stuff going on. He wanted to make sure you had where the main feature focusing on tonight. That came out.
Get in touch with Chris. Set up a dinner date or something.
Yeah. Well, I told him to go. He said he lives like 30 minutes away from me. I told him to go to his house, get an alien mask, just tap on the window throughout the stream, and pop up, pop down, and add a little drama to the stream tonight. And he's like, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Can't draw from my number.
I would tell him, I'm a big wrestling fan, so I'd want him to dress up like Vince McMahon from Undertaker Ministry of Darkness storyline. It was me, Foreman. It was me all along.
This image of him like as Rey Mysterio outside your window, or like with 3 little bottles, like Foreman, come out and play. Clanking the bottles.
Oh God, right?
Well, yeah,
I chose an interesting card to work on. So tedious line work. What a
it's looking great
for a chibi. You have to do so much with this. Oh, I appreciate it. It's a work in progress. It's this is all base stuff. So.
To me, as a non-artist, it's interesting the way you went, because when I first looked at this, to me, the nightmare zone was those 2 fingers right around the mouth. Like, how do you get those lines fine enough that they don't blend together? So I've been waiting to see you attack that spot.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's I'm right there with you, man. Like I often tell myself, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why did you do it that way? But, how are you supposed to, it kind of goes back to how can you come up with dynamic imagery? You take chances, right?
As I haven't seen any other bid.
And no, to be fair, this is a very simple.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I haven't seen any other bids for the Venom, so Derp, I think you want to close that one out.
Yep, I think Mr. Fuller now is the proud owner
Want to
of
give it to
your
me with no competition?
Venom sketch.
I know. That's a killer.
Well, thank you,
Venom
Matt. I
too.
appreciate that, man.
I was in a brawl a couple hours ago for some Lord of the Rings lots, so this is shockingly easy.
You guys missed out on this one.
Womp womp.
Hey. No, that's okay, man. Like I said, everybody's got their personal collection. They have a certain character, a
Yeah.
certain team.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know.
Jorge, is that your sketch
It was
that he's
bad.
working on right now?
Or is he just is he basically just saying
Or
bibs?
claiming it? Yeah.
Obi Dan, yeah, we just closed out the bidding on that one, man. Mr. Fuller picked it up for $100.
Yeah, I mean, there's some for me, like, I like Venom, but sometimes I'm more about the artist than about the parent. You know what I mean? That it doesn't really matter sometimes.
Well, I think all this, there's so many factors that play in. You know, I think it's the artist. It's your, you know, if you're so much a fan of the artist that you personally collect that artist's work, then you might be like, you know what, I'm not a big fan of Jubilee or whatever, but he's got a pretty dope Jubilee. I'm gonna get it. You know, that kind of thing.
I'm curious to see where you rank in terms of my artist horde. No, I gotta say.
Like how many of
Yeah,
that you
like
have?
where in terms of like my top is Marcelo Ferreira. I've got 122 of his sketches.
Oh my
So
God.
it's number
Dang.
one. So let's see, Mr. Foreman. You are
Obi Dan asked if you ever do Power Rangers.
Power Rangers?
Rangers.
Do they do Power Rangers sketch cards like on trading card sets?
Not a clue.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
If
there's
they
been
did,
any-
I would. But
I know like Cryptozoic has like the DC ones, and then they have the Lord of the Rings stuff and things like that. But
oh, you know, now that I think about it,
there's
though, there was a gentleman in Canada who is trying to make his own Dino Damage Studios. You ever heard of that?
yes, I have. I'm trying to remember what their real name is. It's escaping me.
And if he's listening or ever hears this, I apologize, dude. I operate on like 4 to 5 hours sleep at night. So, but
we understand.
he did that toy box set based off of all these 80s cartoon IPs. That, you know, is obviously all within fair use of, you know, homaging stuff or whatever, but I can't imagine he paid the licensing fees for all the characters he said we could draw. I drew I did draw a few Power Ranger cards for that set, so that was fun.
Oh, I found their Facebook page. There's cool stuff on there.
Yeah, man, he's doing some interesting stuff. I think more recently he had a set based off of like animals, kind of like you ever heard of those Mythic Legions action figures that they're kind of like army builder action figures.
Yeah.
His whole thing was like, you know, draw like a platoon of like ferret soldiers or whatever. Like it all had to be, you know, original characters. You couldn't like pull from anything existing. And I wish I could have worked on it. I was just so swamped with this stuff that I had to turn him down. I felt bad because I really wanted to do it. But that toy box set was so much fun. I did so many Masters of the Universe, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. Excuse me, Silverhawks. Ooh, my bad. I'm sure this makes for compelling podcasting on or yawning.
No, it's been a long day for everybody. I mean, I've been up since like 4:00 this morning, so believe me, I understand. You know, it's just, you know, it's a long day, and then you come on here and, you know, try to keep talking for, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes it goes to 4 hours. So that's not going to be one of those tonight.
Exactly.
So we're
Oh my
not doing
God.
that.
Yeah. No, those are marathons for sure.
Yeah.
I was about to say I would like to, if not for the fact that I've got to be at in Austin tomorrow for GalaxyCon, right? Is that right?
GalaxyCon, yeah.
Mhm.
Galaxy.
Do you do the Comic Palooza one?
Myself and Rhiannon are going to get some barbecue.
Oh,
You know, I have done for many years. I've done Comic Palooza. I recently have not done it the last few years because it's either they have scheduling conflicts with other shows or Comic Cons in particular. I say Comic Cons. Comic Palooza is more of a pop culture show. Most shows are pop culture shows now.
Yeah.
They charge too much for the tables, at least in my opinion. and so I've I bowed out recently on Comic Palooza, and that's not. I'm not trying to talk crap or anything about it. I'm just simply saying, like, I live in town. Like, you can put me as a guest or give me a discounted table or, but they just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been a Star Trek actor, so I wasn't high on the list, I guess.
The pop culture ones always seem like they're a mixed bag in terms of Artist Alley, right? You get a ton more people because of the celebrities, but the problem is most of those people don't care about Artist Alley, right? So in some ways, I like going to those shows because the Artist Alley is wide open because they're all getting autographs and photos. But I can see from the artist perspective how that could be frustrating.
Yeah, I noticed that like at Fan Expo.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So go ahead. I'll share my my story
I went to Fan Expo last year. Actually, no, it was this year, like in January, and that's what I noticed. Like, it's a lot of just the main areas, of course, going to be for actors. They had guys from like the new Star Trek, Strange New World show, and the guy does the Mario voice, and some of the Star Wars animated series voice actors. But Arthur Adams was there, and literally just like a 2-person line the whole time.
What?
Yeah.
What
Like
the fuck?
nobody. Like
One point
I
right
mean,
there.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't know what the hell. I mean, he could tell he was a little disappointed, honestly, which I would be too if I was him. But I mean, it's New Orleans, so it's going to be a mixed bag at that convention.
Yeah,
but
sure.
In previous years when Wizard World was running it, we had like so many artists like Liefeld, Bob Layton was there. Of course, Arthur Syndom was always at those conventions, but David Mack was there. Alex Ross was there as well. I mean, it was insane. The amount of artists. And Mark Texieri, Mark Silvestri was there. It was nuts. But now it's just like you might get lucky if you have like 3, big names like Mark Brooks basically was there. I think Arthur Adams and Clayton Crane, and those were the big 3 basically.
I know, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So interesting. I have some stories about Comic Palooza and about Wizard World New Orleans. So when Comic Palooza had the Mother of Dragons as the main guest, I forget what year that was. She, of course, obviously this was hot off the heels of the most popular show in the world, so everybody wanted to meet her. And to your point, that's what everybody was there for. Everybody was there to get through, and it was on Mother's Day weekend. That's another thing. They did it on Mother's Day weekend. So the only people that cared about this were hardcore, Game of Thrones fans whose moms liked it, and they brought her for a photo op. And what I mean, I probably paid $300 something for my table. I barely made my table back.
Yeah. Wow.
I know, and it's just it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And so for me, I've been expanding out of Houston. I'm trying to do more shows away from home. Like I'm hoping next year to go up north and do some stuff away from here, because a lot of times Texas is a big state, but you see a lot of the same faces in every city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now you want to hear a funny story if you got time.
Oh yeah.
So 2012 Wizard World New Orleans. I got 2 funny stories about Wizard World. Oh no, okay, no.
I was there at that one.
Were you?
Yeah. Was that the Star Trek one? When the Next Generation cast was there and Patrick Stewart canceled?
I think it might have been. Have been because So this story was the Boondock Saints guys there, and this is when Walking Dead was barely getting started to become a thing, and they had him at a booth as Boondock Saints, not as the guy from Walking Dead and his buddies from Boondock Saints. Daryl Dixon and Powder. They didn't have. It wasn't the tack they were using.
Sean Michael Flannery, I think, or Patrick Flannery.
There you go. Yeah, and so. That year, as an artist, you want to try to do things to kind of pander to the guests. That way you can sell prints and get them signed. People can get them signed and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I did an image, 11x17 print of them doing the thing where they say the prayer and they're pointing the gun at the whatever.
Yeah.
And I slapped the Boondock Saints logo on the bottom also put the New Orleans Saints football logo in the background with like a starburst coming off of it, so it looked really cool. And I sold a ton of
Like a
them.
fleur de lis. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't met any celebrities today. I'm going to take these. It was Sunday. It was the last day. It was kind of last couple hours. I took a couple of those prints. I signed them, and I took them over to the two guys. As kind of say, hey, I'm a fan. If you're interested, here's some artwork I did of you guys. I just want you to have it in case you just want to take it home and keep it in your man cave or whatever. And who plays Daryl? Was it I forget his name.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. They're both very good. They were both very kind about it, and they took them. And Sean Patrick Flanery was like, "Oh, thanks, man," and like put it to the side. But Norman Reedus looking at it, and he's like, "Oh, this is cool, man. I can't do his voice or anything." But he goes, he looks at me and he kind of leans in. He goes, normally, man, people give us artwork of us blowing each other and shit, but we throw that stuff away. I'm gonna keep this one. It's like, okay.
I have another funny story for them too. Actually, so I was at that convention, and I have a friend who owns a bar in New Orleans called the Boondock Saint, and they go there. Yeah, it's on North Peters, kind of near where Jackson Square is. You basically go down the street to the left of Jack Square, and it's about maybe 2 blocks up, and they go there all the time whenever they're in town, both of them.
That's dope.
And they were there, and they ended up going behind the bar and bartending.
What?
And
That's
Sean
awesome.
Patrick Flanery yells out, "Champagne for everyone!" And the owner's like, "Shut up, no!" And he looks and he goes, "Miller High Life, the champagne of beers for everyone." He bought a round of drinks, Miller High Life, everybody.
Oh my god!
But yeah, no, I that was a really fun convention. I went there, and I remember I have a friend who works for a company that distributes these little like Cajun in your pocket noisemakers. Have you ever seen those? Like you go to a gas station and like you push the button and it goes like "Aye," like it's like the head off the crawfish. I had one on my desk. I just moved it.
Oh my
But,
god!
I brought a bunch of those to the convention, and I was going to give one to like Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes and all the people in TNG. And so I went to the panel that had Jonathan Frakes, Gates McFadden, and Michael Dorn. And Michael Dorn, you could tell, he basically was like the Alan Rickman character in Galaxy Quest, who is always mad and very serious actor, and just completely upset, didn't want to be there, but he was there for the check, and I gave
It's so beneath
Cajun
him.
in your
Yeah.
pocket to Jonathan Frakes, and he would not stop playing with it during the panel, and he was staring me down the whole time. He's like, "You son of a bitch! Why did you give him this
That's awesome.
toy?" And
Dude,
he was
that's
pushing the
fantastic.
buttons and reciting like the "Aye," like he's got like, "You gotta suck the head off the crawfish." Like number one is saying you gotta suck the head off the crawfish, And there's actually a video, somebody recorded it, and I found it like 2 months ago of me giving them the Cajun in your pocket. So if you search for 2012 Wizard World New Orleans Star Trek panel, you'll see me giving them these Cajun in your pockets and being patted down before I could walk on stage to make sure I didn't have any explosive devices on me or anything.
Oh god! Right?
Yeah, but it was a really fun experience, and I remember giving one to Marina Siertas, and she goes, "Oh, did you give it to anybody else?" I said, "Yeah, I gave them to Jonathan Frakes and Gates McFadden and Michael Dorn." And Michael Dorn was just pissed. He did not want that, to be anywhere near him. And she actually said, as he was walking through the curtain behind her, "Yeah, he's a real sourpuss." And then you hear behind her, and then her face goes.
Oh
I got a free
no!
autograph though from her and Brent Spiner and a few other people. So I was exchanging these $3 noisemakers for $30 autographs. So I was pretty happy about that.
That's just industrious, man. That's just
Yeah, man. I paid for my comic
Smart on your
experience with little toys.
Matt
I
out
paid
there
for.
hustling.
Yeah. That's how you got
yeah,
the
exactly.
money. Well,
Gotta grind.
from
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
some of those. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was
That's
a really
awesome.
fun experience. You can have a really good time at the cons. You just have to go in with an open mind. And But sometimes, yeah, they are completely. The new ones are just complete money sucks. Like I remember, the guy who does the Mario voice, my nephew, wanted an autograph, wanted a picture, and then he said, "Okay, that'd be $160."
Woo!
Some of them are ridiculous.
Mamma mia!
That's a spice I made the ball. Yeah, but yeah, I was not happy about that. So we do have another sketch
my
that Chris
God,
has
dude.
done, segueing into another topic. So Chris, did you is it Captain America and a Bucky Falcon and Winter Soldier sketch as well?
Yeah. So this is and I think I probably posted it on social media if you wanted to pull it up on my
Yeah, I can
Instagram.
do
But
that.
yeah, this was me. You know, I had these 2 APs floating around in my book. I have a binders full of APs, and I was like, I know I'm gonna have a hard time selling these things, but I want to do something in the spirit of, you know, the heart of the set. You know what I mean? And so I started looking, you know, kind of looking at different panels from older books of Bucky and Cap and all these things. And, you know, there's a little part where he just, how about you just call me Bucky? That's like pulled from his first appearance. And this little thing where they're posing for pictures is pulled. And then, of course, I got the Death of Captain America over here from that cover. That was it Steve McNiven that did that cover, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, I wanted to kind of just pay reverence to the whole idea that, you know, Winter Soldier was kind of like is one of the focal points of the set and the show. And so, you know, I wanted to I had an idea, and this is how I usually do. I have an idea, I have to get it out of my system. You know what I mean? If it's bugging me long enough, I'm going to put it out there. And so that's what I did. You know, and I think it came out cool.
Yeah, it came up really good.
Yeah.
I do like the modern Cap with the classic Cap in the background with the classic Bucky. That's pretty cool. What does it say on the word bubble? I can't see that.
It
How about
says,
you just call me Bucky?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Tim says,
So-
"Don't let Fuller win."
Hey now,
Oh man.
what's
Chris, what did you want to start this one at, sir?
You know, I mean, let's just do $100 again. I feel like, you know, if somebody gets it for $100, I'm okay with that. Like I said, it's, you know, it kind of, it's the same vein as the claim cards I put up. You kind of, most of the time, if it's not something I have requested from a list of things that you as collectors wanted to see, you're just kind of at the mercy of what I felt like drawing that day. So I don't really, you know, put like a big price tag on anything that I took the reins on. You know what I mean? That makes sense? Because I just I don't know if it's going to be something anybody want or not. And so if it's affordable for them and they're happy with it, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I land on it. So
Yeah.
There you go. Relics is in. James is in.
Ooh,
I think-
nice.
I think people were just sleeping earlier.
Yeah.
Fuller. I think you got
Yeah.
lucky on that Venom. Hey, Matt's-
holy man, I
Matt's
know.
running though.
And the whole reason I did that Venom because he's just this
it's never luck.
popular
so
character.
Never luck.
People
Matt.
spell in the chat.
Crazy. Tim's in at 125. Oh,
So I do have another
damn.
story about. Competition, sir.
You brought up my competitive
I
side.
have
See
a
what you did, Tim?
funny story about Wizard World New Orleans. This was 20. Well, it was the guy from Alien, George Tsoukalos, from the meme. The guy with the hair, Ancient Aliens. He was like a guest for the 2012 show in New Orleans because, you know, 2012 was the year everything's supposed to end, right? And so,
Yeah.
you know, I was like, I'm a big fan of Ancient Aliens. I love that show. I was hooked on it. And so I was like, I'm going to show him some of my artwork and see if maybe he wants to maybe collaborate and do something for his website or whatever. I go and I bring some sketch covers over to him. I'm like, hey, man, I want to show you some of my work. My name's Chris. I'm a huge fan. I was like, here's my card. Maybe we can do something. It's the sketch covers, and there's like 4 or 5 sketch covers I worked really hard on. And he's, oh, great, man, thanks a lot. And he just sets them behind his table, like with his on the top of his suitcase and shit. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me know. And like, I never heard from him. Never saw that artwork again. So wherever that guy lives, he's got those in a drawer somewhere. You know, just collecting dust.
Mhm.
Or does he have them, or is it aliens? You know,
No,
Yeah, I know the
he's-
guy you're talking about.
yeah,
At first,
exactly.
I was trying to think, is it like from the Aliens movie? And I'm like, I don't remember anybody named George that Takulis. Like, and I was like, let me Google real quick, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the aliens guy, and now maybe I don't know if he did it out of the kindness of his heart or what, but like I think he saw me standing there kind of confused. He's like, "Oh wait, hold on." He goes back to his merch table and he gives me a sticker that says "Sukalicious." I was like, "Thanks, man." I just walked back to my table, and I was like, "I guess I got to draw more shit," and so I had to. It inspired me to keep working. I guess I don't know. It was just kind of funny. I was not prepared.
I remember asking Billy D. Williams, or actually, I told my friends, like the little part of me, I said I'd give you $20 if you go ask Billy D. Williams if he run for president in 2012. And his answer was, "Man, I don't know. I'd have to get up before noon. I don't think I could do that." Perfect answer.
Oh my god!
Like most of us, we don't want to get up before noon if we don't.
Right.
So dope.
There's no way these last two presidents got up before noon, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That
We were
used to be
asleep
me, and then I had a daughter. So
Oh yeah. Your daughter's absolutely adorable, man. Congratulations on her. She's a cute kid.
oh man, thank you. She was the blessing I've been holding out for. Her and her mama. Those are the ones that keep me going.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like driving forces family, a lot of this stuff, like a lot of artists, they want to do a lot of excellent work. And are you looking forward to her when she starts getting the coloring books and being able to, color in and everything and judge her skills, and critique her style?
Oh, I would never critique her. I mean, it's my thing is like I told myself this even back in the day when like you would sit around and think, man, if I had a kid, like what would I do, and what kind of father would I be? And hopefully, I'll be a good father. And I still feel the same way today. Like I want her to be herself, unapologetically her. And if she has interest in what I do and wants to, carry on, some sort of family name or whatever, great, and I'll support it fully. And of course, I'll be there to help her every step of the way, But if she decides that it's of no interest to her, that's great too. I want her to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want her to feel like she has to have any sort of pressure to do anything that she doesn't want to do.
Yeah. It's crazy to see like this sketch, like we saw it was just an outline, with ink, basically like maybe less than an hour ago.
Yeah.
And now like the shading and the depth's been added. Like
Yeah.
I'm always amazed by watching you guys, draw live and just do this. So once again, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing this with us.
Oh yeah, man, of course.
Yeah.
Can I take a second? I want to talk about something real quick because I've
Sure.
noticed a lot of this popping up on the group for a lot of artists in particular. So if there's any artists listening, I hope that you hear me out on this. I know for a fact that a lot of artists are doing a lot of hard work on these cards and getting their whole entire kit and caboodle rejected. Okay. Now, to be fair, I've never experienced that, so I don't know how that feels. Like now, I say that I've had a few cards rejected, and it's kind of a punch to the gut because you're like, well, why the fuck? And then you're like, oh yeah, the boobs are too big, or oh, the gun is facing too close to the person who's looking at the card. I mean, there's reasons why they've rejected, and then a lot of collectors and artists have their suspicions as to, why all their stuff got rejected. I can tell you, man, like art is subjective, right? We're all artists. We're all artists in one way or the other. We all bring something to the table. If you're an artist and you're going through that right now and you're like, they rejected all my shit, man, I don't understand what happened. Part of you initially wants to say that, but also like, be honest with yourself. Like, is there a reason why? Like, let me go back and look at the cards. Let me look at the guidelines, because there's a certain degree of difficulty that comes with this. Like we were talking about earlier, like composition and layout and character choice and all these things. Like, and I can't think of the guy's name, but there was a guy a while back who had got all his cards rejected, and I felt terrible for him. Okay. But then he posted some examples of the work, And one of the big no-nos that we're always told not to do is rely heavily on the driver's license photo, right? Just a atypical, boring headshot like you would see on a license.
Right.
And bless this guy, man, that's everything that he had. And I was like, ugh. And I couldn't. It sucked because I wanted to reach out and be like, hey, man, this is why it happened. But I've heard of other artists doing that and really offending these people. When you tell them this, they get so mad that it's made me gun shy about helping other artists. So I wanted to kind of put it out there like, hey, you know, don't take it personal if it happens. Ask why it happened. You know what I mean? And, you know, be honest with yourself and be like, okay, well, maybe this is why. Maybe this is why. And then I don't, me saying that, I'm running the risk of maybe making somebody upset. And I don't mean that. I don't mean that to be the case. It's just, you know, I can tell you, like, even myself, I know I talked to Rhiannon in Hawaii. She's had cards rejected. So it's happening to all of us. You know, sometimes we just forget, you know, what the guidelines are or whatever, you know, or we don't know what the ban list is. Like, I've had Gambit cards banned or rejected because I'm like, fuck, why is Gambit on the ban list? It makes no sense. He's one of the most popular characters in the X-Men. I don't understand, but what am I to do? Like,
when they set you guys up with the sets, do they give you the ban list at the time that they're sending you the blanks, though?
Yes, absolutely. Every email comes with the current ban list, and you know, more often than not, Gambit's on the ban list. You know,
we saw that with Dan, though, with the Masterpieces set. You know, the primary artist for the set was allowed to like start doing characters, but then as that set progressed, then characters became banned. Like Punisher was okay, like when he started doing the work, but then as time went on, he became banned. Now, does that happen with you? Do they send you updates if that happens with the
Me personally, no, I haven't had that problem yet. I haven't been like in the trenches and have a character, you know, banned while I'm working on that set or anything. But I can see where that would be very frustrating. And that's I'm just hoping that any artist that hears what I'm saying, like, don't let that keep you from creating. Don't let that bring you down. Don't let that stop you. Like, just say, okay, dust myself off and get back at it. Because really, at the end of the day, like any kind of job or anything you do, like, you become better at it by practice and by, you know, reinventing and incorporating new styles and new methods and techniques that maybe you didn't think about doing before, and then you find that, oh god, I did this wrong the whole time. Like, going back to what I said earlier, like, I hate my older stuff because I know that there's 1,000,001 things that I did wrong that I should have known better, and I didn't because I was like, oh my god, I'm working on a Marvel set, I'm so excited, and then, like, god damn, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm rambling again, but I hope I'm making sense. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think the frustration comes from talking to a lot of artists, you know, that I've become friends with over the years in this hobby. It's the lack of feedback, and I understand it's you know, somebody at Marvel basically making that decision, basically saying, okay, this is approved, this is not approved, and then UD kind of following suit with that. I think it's, you know, number one, there needs to be more staff. If I mean, sketch cards honestly are the big chase in a lot of these sets.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to have just one person basically who's the person working with the artists, I mean, there's a lot of artists on these sets, and there's multiple sets, and they've got to juggle all those different things. And the thing is also, too, a lot of times when they get rejected, I've looked at the cards, I can't see anything that would be an issue. But I know there's other factors, like, you know, how many blanks did they send out that came back approved, and how many did they basically have to say, well, we can't prove them. And then my big issue is that, you know, if you're to use the term, I guess, the carrot that they're dangling for you to complete X amount of cards to get the reward for an AP is 10 cards per AP, but they're approving, let's say, you know, it's 80 cards you've done, and they're approving like 78, but you're only going to get 7 APs. I mean, you've done 8.
Rounding down makes no sense.
I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. So,
And then not paying the artist for the work, whether it's approved or not, to me, especially when you're paying them, is the pennies that you are paying them to do that. Just pay them for the work that they've done.
I mean, they have the
Oh,
money.
I agree. Yeah,
No, but I get what Chris is saying. Like, for the artist to go back, look at the criteria again.
Yeah.
But to point on that too, like the art is subjective, so the rules are subjective too. Like if a simple, I don't know what the rules state, but if a simple rule says you can't over sexualize a female character, well, where's that line? You know what I mean?
Right.
What's the line for over sexualizing a female character?
The there actually is there's a sentence for that. There's a kind of an explanation in the byline that says if you're not sure, then don't do it. That's kind of like their blanket, CYA.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, I mean, and again, that's not me trashing anything from the company or any artist that may have done something that they didn't realize was a little too risque or whatever. I had learned lesson the hard way too, man. Like I remember when I first started doing Everdeck cards, when some of the rejections came back, I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, like I've done this before. I've written House and it wasn't a problem. Why is the problem here? You know what I mean? Like you ask yourself that because
at the time, Marvel wasn't owned by Disney.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
House of Mouse. Yeah.
That's also true.
Yeah. My whole thing
point.
would be cool is like, let's say, okay, so they're supposed to destroy these cards. How about we don't destroy them? You stockpile them, and like say they're like on the cusp of being rejected, or it's just they don't have enough, for that. They have more than enough for a particular set. Pay the artist for the card, hold on to the card, come up with some kind of buyback card. Like, we have these buyback base cards. Why not insert like in another set, or even make a whole new set? Just it's all sketch cards from previous sets, and take those cards and just do another release.
Because Disney doesn't want it to exist. That's why.
It just drives me nuts. Because it's just I feel the pain of a lot of the artists like I've talked to.
Sure.
I don't have any talent. I enjoy the work. I enjoyed living through that work and looking at it. But like, it's just, it's.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, when you're a corporation, you can't take the risk to piss off your IP holder.
Yeah, and I see your point too, because who's not spending $800 to $1,000 on a box of cards? A 10-year-old.
Exactly.
So
that's what Ash just said here too. Is like their line is this product will be seen by kids, so don't draw anything inappropriate. Kids aren't spending the money on this sort of stuff.
Right.
Hell no, they're not. Absolutely not.
If there's a 10-year-old that has $800 for a box of masterpieces,
your demographic of people buying this is typically the 30 to 50-year-olds.
Dude, if my daughter one day came in and told me, Dad, I work at Taco Bell, Dad, I love my job. I just spent $800 on a box of cards. I'm like, where's the receipt?
There you go, Tim. Tim says EPAC incentives. You got to be 18 or older to participate on EPAC anyway.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's kind of I can see where.
Then you don't reject. You're not rejecting any cards then, and they're always out there. I mean, within reason. You still, you got to follow whatever Marvel's guidelines are. Disney's.
Sure, exactly. Oh, is Ash here? Did you say Ash was in here?
Yeah, Ash is in the chat. Yeah.
Oh man, how you doing? I've been.
You didn't hear him knocking on your window?
I was wondering who this was standing behind me this whole time.
You hear like the
next time Ash is on with us and it's all black behind him, all we're going to see is these two glowing eyes, and it's going to be Chris in the back with the mask on.
No, it wasn't so much the Halloween theme as it was Adele singing "Hello from the Other Side." That's what it was.
The call is from inside the building.
Every time I'm in last place on Mario Kart and somehow I get hit with a turtle from behind, it's Ash. Ash is everywhere.
You're going to see him at a show, and he's going to hit you with a blue shell that he bought at Target, and you're going to be like, "Oh man."
So, also too, just to let you know, Relics, you've won the sketch, so it is yours.
Congrats,
so
man.
Congrats.
Everybody who's won a sketch, just 2 people, who have purchased a sketch, sorry, haven't won, but you win by buying this. Reach out to Chris's Instagram, and I've actually put a link in the description of this video to his Instagram. So feel free to
and you can just search Chris Foreman too, and it'll be the first account that pops up for you as well.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that's one of the things I
format.
like to tell people at shows when they ask me, like, how do I look you up? Because I used to do business cards and watch people throw them away after I gave them to them.
Mhm.
So I just put up my socials on my banners because, like, I don't want to waste money on business cards.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, like, if you're not sure, you don't want to do social media, just Google me. I'm very Googleable, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in the Googles.
I'm in the Google machine.
Ah, yeah, that's an awesome. That's an
Tim
awesome.
is happy that Matt didn't win this one.
He can't have
Matt
all-
can't have them all.
Between my bid and when I was outbid, I got the invoice for the Lord of the Rings auctions.
Oh man.
And so I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm out.
All right, guess I'm out.
You know, I need to ask Matt a question because I've been curious about this myself. Like, I know, and if I'm not mistaken, like, you love Moonstar and the bear.
I do.
That is your thing. What happened? How did that come about?
So I remember when the New Mutants was released. I was reading comics at the time. You know, I would go with my friend and we would walk. I think it was like 4 miles every day. Every Sunday, we'd go to pick up our comics at the local store.
Uphill both ways in the snow.
No, it was flat, but it was still
Oh,
4
okay.
miles. So,
Sure, sure.
when you're like 11 or 12, that was a lot.
Oh my god.
Explains why I ran cross country in high school, I think.
No kidding.
Yeah, right. Can't you tell? The runner thought here.
we all have those can't you tell bodies now.
Right.
Welcome to the club, man.
And
Welcome to the club.
X-Men was, one of my favorites at the time. And then New Mutants came out and I just loved it. And especially when Sienkiewicz came in for his run, I was just blown away. And that still remains one of my favorite story arcs of all time. So, and then of all the characters
That's
in
awesome.
there, I mean, they all sort of have their quirks, and I've even gone back and, some of the storylines are a little dated, and you sort of kind of squint and do a little side eye at some of the things, the way they portray Danny. It doesn't hold up well in the 2023 filter in some ways, but in terms of characters, it was her
Sure.
and her with the demon bear. Since that story was it, I've just kind of always paired those two together.
That's awesome. I mean, I admire it, man. I was curious. Like, every time you would hit me, like, oh, I want to get this bear and Moonstar, I would think, man, this guy is devoted to Danny Moonstar.
Yeah, I finally started laying off that, and I've got another couple of interesting projects going. I can't.
What's the
disclose.
thing now? Oh, come on.
I
You can tell
can.
me.
I can. It's not like anyone's going to chase this. I am having people do. You ready for this? This is commitment. I'm having people do sketch cards of Dupe cosplaying as other Marvel characters.
Oh,
You got to be kidding me. Hold on a second.
nice.
Did
Yeah,
you
no,
not
I
see
saw-
recently
I saw
I
you.
had?
I did. I
Someone-
saw it after the fact. Yep.
Oh, man.
Going to the binder.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm about to say, man, like, I don't have any right now, but keep your eyes peeled on the claim thread, buddy. And you know what? And I used to do it as a thread, but I feel like it kind of, I don't know, because I know people bump things that put, like, bump, and it'll, like, bring it back up, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was working for my claim thread or just everybody thought my shit sucked and there was lame characters and not wanting to buy them. But
It
I just
all
went to doing
depends how
individual
people
posts.
sort, right? Because I always sort by new posts. So a lot of times I forget to also sort by newest activity, and that's how you'll see those. But my default is new posts. So a lot of times bumps and stuff like that I don't see. But I'll also show you this. I can actually blame this project on an artist, and it's specifically Jalen Warner. Because
John.
he sent me that sketch
Oh yeah.
and of Duke cosplaying his Man Thing, and it just started me down this path.
That's
I love
awesome.
that.
So funny.
Yeah,
Let me
Send
give
me
you guys
a-
a close-up
Take
look of this
take a
card.
picture of that and send it to me. I want to send it to a friend of mine.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when you have a minute.
Can't
so
wait to
this-
see the Dupe Doom collab.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that's awesome.
Oh, she's not
Like
focusing.
Dupe with like a Captain America mask, like a garbage can shield, you know?
Oh, I already have a Captain America one.
Ah.
They're Ultra Avengers.
Okay.
Sorry about not
He's got
focusing.
the shield
Nah,
and
you're all
Thor's hammer. And I think he might be wearing Scarlet Witch's mask. Now I gotta find it.
You know, there's an idea that I had for Dupe because he's fun to draw. I mean, first thing, he's just a little green sack of goo, right? I wanted to draw him as Spider-Man and holding a box of Uncle Ben's rice and just crying. I don't know. I thought it'd be pretty funny.
Where is that? I must not. I have to figure out how I can access my upstairs images from this computer. Got to do that.
Oh man.
So it's interesting now when you just showed that. So it makes sense now how you did her hand and resolved that issue of the tones and whatnot with the lighter color on the glove. That's very cool. Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, as an artist, when people watch you draw, they really are kind of dumbfounded by decisions you make because they're like, why did he do it like that? And it's like, as an artist, and I'm sure Ash will probably tell you if Ash is still here, you got to think 10, 15, 20 steps ahead in regards to your composition, lighting, and all this jazz. I mean, there's just so much involved, and me now wishes I can go back and tell younger me back then, like, slow down, asshole, work a little better, you know what I mean? But like, this all comes with time and effort and learning, and you just get better if you just keep putting. God, dude, I wish I could tally how much time I've spent just drawing and working on this stuff night in and night out. You guys have seen how many things I post at 2, 3 in the morning. It's not that.
Oh yes, I'm awake at those hours.
Yeah, it's not that I want to be up that late. I have to be up that late. You know what I mean?
No.
So Free Comics just asked. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Chris, I think you can confirm this, but I believe they are banned again. Yes, is Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom banned again after the brief unpause for Annual and Beginnings?
which
As it stands right now, yeah. As far as I know, but I think God, there's so much things I want to say I can't say, but
we understand. We don't want to get you in trouble. So.
but it's
Yeah.
not why.
Well,
It's
what
like, how
I'll
did-
say
what-
is I
don't
know they're
ban
doing a
them, ban
Secret War set, and if they don't have the Fantastic Four and Doom and Molecule Man and all that, how do you have? Right? But seriously, like let's do Hamlet. By the way, but Hamlet's banned.
you're gonna make me cry
I know.
because I just had to deal with that.
Yep.
And it sucked
Oh.
because I wanted to create things based around certain characters I was not allowed to draw.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, right?
That's the benefit of APs, right? Draw what I want you to draw.
No, even that you can't do that on
Little
APs.
APs?
I
Yeah.
can't do it on APs either.
What the ass? What?
Yeah.
That's why this card
PCS.
exists. Hold on.
Or PSC?
That's why this PSC exists, because I was so mad
Yep. PSC.
that I couldn't draw a freaking character. I was like,
Yep.
if I don't get to draw Doctor Doom right now, I'm going to
There
lose
you
my
go.
mind.
Yeah.
So I did this one.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I was like, God damn it, because this is from one of the issues of a book I can't confirm that anything about, but like this is a panel.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to draw that panel, and so I don't know. It's just.
I know some
And I put
artists.
after Mike Zeck.
Some artists
I
get
credit
their
my
own
peoples.
like PSC cards. Like I know our friend Joseph, Old Man
Mhm.
Venom, has his own PSC cards now. Have you looked at getting anything like that, like your own stock?
Actually, I have over here in an envelope somewhere. Gentleman Michael Marzell. You've probably seen his name in the groups.
Yep.
He's looking to make custom PSCs for people, and I've got to find it again. He sent me a sample of his stock.
Okay.
I wanted to try before I said yay, but I am in this next year going to be having personalized PSCs with
Nice.
my information on the back and more official looking. I'm gonna do some of the thinner stock, like I'm gonna do some of the Black Diamond-esque type thicker stock if I can. To kind of give a different price point, like, because I know I've run across this where there are some collectors who prefer to have the thicker card as a PSC, which I found was interesting.
Mhm.
So I think I'm learning as we go here, with you guys as collectors, that as an artist, I'm learning that some collectors just really like this thicker stock. There's an air of official, official, the cool kids club, if that makes sense. Like, I only do the thicker cards or whatever. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, like I got like a black diamond here, like Jim Faustino, and you can see that's a much thicker stock.
Yep.
It's not Masterpiece or FUA stock, but it's definitely thicker. And it just feel like a more solid card in comparison to like the thinner like Into the Spider-Verse cards that I have for.
I just want to show my Doom from Chris.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Is that from one of the sketch ones from the warm
Yeah.
Oh, where's that?
Yep. 22.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Mhm.
Nathan,
Awesome.
I assume
Appreciate that,
some
man.
MentalCon stock might be in his future.
Yep, I sent him an IG message. Send me your address, Chris. I got some 32-point MentalCon stock
Nice.
that some of the artists out there
Oh,
trading
okay.
them, so that they really like it. So they give you something to try out.
Okay. I appreciate that. Hell yeah.
man,
There's a collector named Jack who actually lives in Houston too. He's bought a lot of stuff that I've worked on, and
Yeah.
he's really passionate about the Muppets. And
Yeah.
he went through the trouble of having his own Muppet sketch cards made. Look at this.
Yeah, shout out to Jack.
Look at this.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's got the little logo, and then it's got this on the back.
I know what you're thinking up there. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Come on, you gotta.
What? What's happening?
You gotta.
Please hold.
You've been called out fully.
Get your fingers off the screen.
Uh-oh.
Bring back stock. Let me see stock. Where's stock?
Hold on. Let me bring back stock, Elmo. Hold on.
Technically, I'm just a mystery.
Oh my God, what is happening?
Elmo, get off the screen!
Hermit on acid. What's happening?
Elmo's got a hand up
Just
his
say
ass.
Oh my God.
Dude,
The
we're off
funny
the rails,
thing
man.
is,
Elmo
the funny thing
burn.
is, I love Elmo, but my favorite Muppet of all time is Kermit, and I have this. My mother-in-law got me a Kermit puppet for Christmas, and I also went to Target and found the bad Kermit hand puppet for like $20. Evil Kermit. And furthermore, oh my God, furthermore, like it's fun. Everything's popping up later on my screen, like done it like up on the computer. It's funny. I went to this Goodwill. It was a Goodwill in a small Louisiana town by my parents' house, and they had this thing. It was you custom order a Muppet from FAO Schwartz, and it was made by the Muppet Workshop. It was like you had like a form you would fill out, and you would just order the hair, eyes, skin tone, everything. So I have a blue-skinned, blonde-haired, freaking cheerleader Muppet in my bedroom that my goddaughter, who's staying over to help us with my daughter, has been playing with, and she's turned that Muppet into a real bitch.
This show just turned outstanding.
My dogs are trying to attack me right now because I have the puppets and I have another puppet.
I just want to say we need a segment every week with.
There is a new show somewhere in here for
Yeah.
sure. Ooh, is that Venom? That's cool.
Oh, nice.
It looks a little like
stupid red thing.
That looks a
Holy
little like.
crap!
Hey, Matt, put that like facing just straight towards the camera because that looks a lot like Melfi's sketch.
Wow.
Oh,
It just needs
my
a bow
God.
tie. That's it.
Oh my god.
Chris says great on shrooms.
Okay, they're back in the drawer.
That's awesome.
Busted my Spider-Man and my Iron Man one too next
I
stream.
know.
So
Right.
This raises so many questions, and I'm not.
We just tuned in, like at that moment, you guys broke up the puppets.
Somebody's like, those puppets have seen some shit.
All right.
yes.
Check
Oh,
on
my goodness.
your puppets, make sure they're okay. Send them a text.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your puppets are?
Oh my God.
I put them in the box.
Oh God.
When they're bad, they go in the box.
Oh my God.
They can't come out.
It does what it's told. It puts my hand up its ass, or else it gets the hose again. You know.
Oh.
Going off the rails. So back to your sketch card here too.
Right.
Are you doing like a certain background? Like you can do like a cloud effect, or is she going to be like in like hell basically? Or
Well, you know, that's
Have you
what I was
thought
just
about that?
thinking. Yeah, I think with given that it's hella, I'm going to put some fire effects in the background. That will give me a chance to kind of use my orange and yellow Posca pins to kind of come in and do some fun lighting for fire and stuff.
Mhm.
So I think that's what I'm leaning towards right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Chris, chat's asking, do you collect Marvel cards?
I was going to ask him that. I completely forgot.
Only recently. So in my store, I moved last year. Right now, we live in the upstairs of a big 2-story house. My parents live downstairs. They're in their 60s. They're about to retire pretty soon, and they're going to be moving full time to their house in Louisiana. And we're going to be taking over the bills here at this house, my family. And so it's kind of like an upstairs apartment. But I say all that to say that I've got a storage unit full of like random shit, collectibles, things I've got, and one of those things is a tote full of my old 90s binders of my old Masterpiece for Ultra X-Men. I've got some old cool Batman sets, just some random shit that I've had for years. I've got a Lady Death set and a Lady Death binder. Like, I've got some interesting stuff. But only recently I started buying some of the newer stuff. I bought some Allure. I bought Annual. I just bought 2 of those Funko packs the other day, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know those were ever going to make it to retail. I thought it was pretty cool.
It's crazy. Those are loose packs that you can buy at Target.
Yeah,
now.
$8
Yeah.
a pack.
Really? Wow.
Oh, speaking of, look, hey, anybody want to buy this card? Auction it off. I don't want to double of eBay. So if anybody wants this, like, I don't know, what's a good starting price for this thing?
No clue, man.
I have no
haven't
clue
done
on the
those
Allure.
autos.
I didn't
I have
collect
the
it.
Nebula auto
Yeah.
myself, but
I'll tell you what, if anybody's interested in that card, reach out to Chris on Instagram.
yeah, just message him on Instagram.
Yeah, message him on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Work something out.
You know,
And,
man.
I'm sure there's got to be
'cause-
somebody out there. If you know somebody who is looking for the Lady Sif card, to complete their collection, let them know. I mean, we've got people in the hobby.
Wasn't the Sif card one of the more rare ones?
I think it was actually. Let's take a look.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just
Couple
I'm not in the business of trying to get rare like autograph cards or anything. Honestly, my biggest hope anytime I buy these cards is I'm hoping to pull one of my own cards. I think that's pretty meta. I'm hoping that will happen one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We're
What
looking
was
at
the number on the back of that card there, Chris?
Oh, let me see. Hold on. I have it in a dragon. What do they call those? Dragon shields.
Yeah.
So it's like a.
Yeah.
It's not see through on the back. Let me see.
Oh, kind of like the Pokemon shields.
Yeah. It's a red auto. It says.
Is it it's a rainbow red, I think.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if
Should
it's
have a
numbered or
card
not,
number
but
right at the top.
oh,
Should have a card
8.
number, right?
It just says 8.
Oh, so that's actually one of the 1 out of 93 cards.
Yeah.
So it's not one of the more rare ones. Like Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie is 1 out of 27,800 packs.
Wow.
Oh wow!
And Chris Evans is 1 out of
Yeah,
the same thing.
That's
Yeah.
for the red rainbow one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good
that's
grief.
The red auto.
I mean, I was excited to pull it. I was thinking like, oh, this is cool, but then I don't collect autos, and I most really can't go and like start chasing autos. Like, I got to keep this money,
Yeah, understand the hobby. You go down those rabbit holes, and you're just like, where did all my money go?
Dude, I see how frustrated all the collectors get when like this whole Masterpiece thing hit, and everybody's like, "Fuck it, I'm never buying cards again." 1 week later, oh, so I bought a box,
So I went to my LCS. They had 3 boxes. They were on sale for $750. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm just that's like my mortgage payment. I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's And of course, this month, like I had some sketch cards I was looking at on eBay and some other stuff and some APs that are out. And I dropped my phone and cracked the screen. And of course, it's an older phone, but I have to have it because it has all my work two-factor authentication stuff on it. And you can't get, of course, my backup key is saved on a document, which is not cloud backed up on that phone. So I couldn't access that. So it's like, I have to get this stupid screen replaced no matter what, just to be able to buy a new phone to use this for my job.
Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law kicked you right in the nuts.
It did. A $450 nut shot, basically, which was
my god,
pill to swallow this month. So, but hey, I get paid tomorrow, so thank God. Plus,
there you go. Venom Collector asked who your favorite character to draw is.
My favorite character to draw? Good question. Oh man, God, I've drawn so many freaking characters.
I really love your Spider-Man. I'll say that right now. You can put that out.
I was about to say I have a soft spot for Spider-Man. It's gonna have to be the webhead, because as a kid that was always my favorite character, and just he's just, now that I do it as a profession, he's just carried over into that. He is who he is, and I apologize for not looking at the screen. I can see like everything pops up later on my, like, there's like a delay between my
phone and YouTube.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I wish I had a charger. My phone is acting like it wants to die. Oh.
Venom Collector says, "Can you confirm that you're the rumor that you're the artist on the 2024 masterpieces?"
Just say sure. Just say yes. Why not?
Sure. Yeah, maybe not.
Well, you never know.
It's a weird thing. We're not supposed to confirm. We're not supposed to confirm stuff like this,
Then it ends up on the, like, on TMZ, and it's like, local artist confirms he is the artist.
TMZ, God, if it ends up on TMZ, they're running out of shit to harass people about.
Yeah, I don't think they're coming to our show to find their news.
Well, they're going to Spidey Hits apparently, to confirm X-Men 97 stuff, basically. Wow. But yeah, no. Yeah.
I really hope that I get an email saying, "Oh, you want to work on this X-Men 97?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude!"
Box prices are about to hit 10K with that news.
Oh my god! And I'm gonna say, "Can I draw Gambit?" Like,
that's the only way I'm in.
Yeah, can I draw a Nightcrawler? I don't want to draw 76 cards of Morph. Not that I hate Morph or anything, but like, come on.
I know Josh would probably commission you to do like 9 Morph sketches. Honestly, that's one of his favorite characters.
That's cool. I mean, and the possibilities are endless. Like, you can do a lot with Morph, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not throwing too much shade. I think it'd be kind of fun to just have him morphing in all these different X-Men.
Like Angel's Wings, Cyclops Visor, Wolverine's Claws.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. What was that character? Like, Mimic, that old school villain from the Avengers?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a mix of everybody in one.
Yes.
Yep.
The PSC of that would be like him morphing into Rogue and looking down at his boobs like, oh, like.
You just got the drawstrings pulled out like.
That meme that always just like shows up in my like feed of like Rogue like laying on her side like with the cake, and it's just like,
oh my god,
90s cartoons just hit differently.
Yeah,
especially X-Men.
One of the first commissions I ever got asked for on DeviantArt back in the day was a guy who was like, I only collect images of Robin from Batman and Robin. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I can draw your Robin, man, no problem. He's like, well, here's the thing. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's the conversation you want to have. He's like, I only collect images of Robin with a huge, and I'm like, whoa. And he's like, so like in particular, yeah, there we go. He's like, if you could draw him like on a bearskin rug with, kind of in the Playgirl pose, and I wrote it back. I was like,
sounds like a South Park, like.
Is that where the line is, Chris? Yeah. That's the line.
I mean, had he picked Jason Todd, I would have done it, but Robin, I can't do that to Dick. You know what I mean? Or maybe, never mind. The joke writes itself.
In case there's any kids, we have entered the after hours part of our chat.
Yeah, if you're still up, that's your fault.
What, Dick Grayson? Yeah, do you know where your kids are at? They should be going to school tomorrow, right?
Duck, you don't even want to know, man.
Yeah.
Go back about 15 minutes. It gets even more interesting.
Oh my god,
Oh God.
that's awesome.
Oh, man.
So I want to warn you, I don't have access to my charger, so if my phone dies, I really enjoyed this. You guys have been awesome, and
Yeah,
I
it's been
would,
great having you,
Yeah, man.
regardless of what happens with the
I would want to come back again if you would have me, and we could talk about more Muppets
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man.
and
I said it's just a laid back, easy chat, and like I said, we just want to have more artists on because we really want to showcase their work, and we do it. We as collectors, all of us appreciate the effort and the time that gets put into this work, and then that feeling, when you pull a sketch card, from a pack or box that you bought, or even just on ePack, it's just that dopamine hit. We all love that, and we're all just like, holy heck! And it's hard. Like I've got a few sketches that I've got stacked here that just aren't part of my personal, PC of characters or artists, but I really don't want to let them go. But I do want to fund the next box break. That I'll be able to.
yeah,
do.
but
Get
say
that next
you're
break.
investing. Yeah, hold on to the ones that carry some weight or whatever. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying back earlier in the conversation. I mean, there's obviously certain characters and certain artists that will net you a nice little chunk of change if you're patient and hold on to them and stuff like that. Like I know a lot of artists back in the day would complain about people selling their work, and I would tell them like, hey man, like your work was good enough then for them to turn a profit on. Obviously you did something right. Like just keep doing that. Eventually they'll keep them. Like it's not it's nothing to get upset about.
I like this idea from Venom Collector. We need an adult Marvel set, 18 and older, in order to buy it. Plain and simple.
Oh shit!
Make it happen, UD.
I mean, I can't lie. I would sign up to work on it. It would be funny.
Oh, Lord.
This card set is rated TV MA.
Yes.
Or honestly, like I wish they would do a set based off the HBO sponsors. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You could do a lot with that.
It would be cool to see like an actual if it actually that movie does come to fruition, if they actually do have a movie set that comes out from that.
Oh, that would be cool.
And then he actually does bring in like sketch artists,
oh God,
to do those cards. I would love to see like Ash's take, and
oh sure,
Tony Perna
yeah,
and all these guys work on something like that,
yeah.
And I think it's some really dark, like just let your, Marvel filtered, kind of like can't draw this, can't draw that. And he's just like big fucking guns, chains, whips,
Melty,
blood everywhere.
Yo.
editing's
It would
going
be
well.
funny. It would be funny if they did like a based off of like old Rob Liefeld stuff. He catches so much shit for his old stuff or whatever, but like, how would you do that and not like make everybody have 87 teeth on the top row and there's pouches everywhere and everybody's got like ballet
I was about
foot?
to mention
You know what I mean?
the pouch character where it was just all pouches. It's just like,
Oh my god, yes! I would
That one
love to
character.
draw that character.
I mean, I wear cargo pants and in tribute to Rob Liefeld. So plus they can hold a lot of shit.
Doom, somebody asked you earlier about a Sue Storm sketch.
Yes,
You got a
doing
Sue
that
Storm
show.
sketch? Oh, the Doom one?
No, this one.
Yeah, we showed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Sorry.
one.
Oh, somebody trying to buy it from you?
No.
No.
I mean, I know a guy who can draw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Krabby?
Oh,
Oh, you're going there?
No.
Wait,
have you not heard
didn't I
about
hear?
this?
Wasn't there a guy like
Oh,
what?
shit.
Wasn't there like a guy who was aping people's stuff or whatever?
Yes,
That's it.
and he's like passing it off.
Unapologetically doing it. So like,
He's like he's sticking it to Upper Deck, and it's like you're sticking it to other artists, dude. And you're just trying to earn a paycheck.
that's
there's no
piss
morals
poor.
behind this. It's you trying to be shady as heck, and trying to get away with it and getting called out on it, and then trying to deflect. You know, I mean, like the Instagram comments are just kind of all over the place with him, but I don't even want to give him any more thought, honestly. You know, I'll
you
just-
shouldn't,
Will-
man.
Then we'll move on from that. Will, you missed the puppet show, man. You'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
You really did, man. It was pretty funny.
That was awesome.
Next time I come on, I'll have to bring my dark Kermit or my bad attitude cheerleader puppet that my goddaughter is giving a complete personality to.
Matt Derpa, I'm really starting to worry. So you've got like
somebody's saying, Mark.
you've got a pretty
One
wide
trick
array of
pony.
puppets.
This is yeah. All right,
Let me have my hobbies, guys. Shut up.
I will share. I didn't share this before because it wasn't in the folder, but
Oh my God.
I'll show you my favorite Foreman sketch here.
All right. And you never told us where he ranks on your
He's
total
about
number.
he's at number like 66 or something.
66. All right. So we got to
This
get
Okay, order
in terms of
66. I'm with it.
Quantity of
so we got to get a few more artists ahead of him then, is what you're saying.
actually, you know what? I didn't add the one I'm about to get though.
Oh, I want that.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Because my Premiere 17
That's cool.
is one of my favorite sets because some of
The back of the card, I like the back of the card more than the front of the
Right.
card. The magic is sick.
I want
Oh,
that
shit.
warlock. Just cut the
Yeah.
warlock part and mail that to me.
Yeah, Warlock.
Just cut like a pizza. You know, I'll take this part. You take this part.
Take a thin razor and just kind of slice down the middle.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was very happy with that.
Venom Collector Derp, you got a van.
Oh my god.
It's down by the river. I'm eating my government cheese.
Wow, that was like a hybrid of stuff there.
You know, and again, I just want to reiterate, like, you know, I know a lot of artists out there get frustrated and stuff like that, man. And I hope that any artists that hear this, please don't give up and please keep going. And we need more artists who can add to the hobby. I feel because I guess I'm kind of passionate about it because, you know, I know what it's like to, you know, I've had collectors be like, that sucks. I don't want that. Like, but you know, this is par for the course. You know what I mean? There's going to be some rejection. There's going to be some feelings of inadequacy when the work isn't accepted by either the official, you know, the official way of doing it, you know, for a set or from a collector. But don't let that bring you down, man. Let that motivate you. You know what I mean? Like, there's two ways to go about it. You can be upset, or you can say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to look at it objectively and say, oh, what could I have done better here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we can go back to talking shit, but like, I just really wanted to kind of, I'm just kind of passionate about it, man. I don't want to see people just give up. You know what I mean?
Venom Collector says you've had people turn down APs.
Very rarely. There are certain collectors that are micromanagers. That's the best way to put it. You know what I
As
mean?
opposed to telling you what they want and then letting you kind of use
You know,
your
Yeah, there's
imagination
different
on it.
and there's different schools of thought. Like, I understand, I get it. Like, the best sketches you're going to get from me is when you say, "Oh man, yeah, it just surprised me." I'm like, "Oh shit, they wanted me to pull out the big guns," and I pull the big guns out. But like, if there's also a certain character in a certain pose, and you want this kind of, you know, this and that and the other thing, I get that. But then when you're a little too picky, and like,
Matt,
you
get
know,
off his back.
no. No, it's just you end up not putting your best foot forward. I can tell you honestly, as an artist, you're like, you just want to get it over with. Like, oh god, let me get this done, because you know,
Right.
it's funny. Like, I'm not going to name names. I had a collector who's done business with me in the past a handful of times, and I keep being surprised that he's coming back. So I don't know if he's making money off of it or what, but I feel like he's just never pleased. Like, and the same guy, like, commissioned Rhiannon, and like, she was like, "You ever heard of this guy?" I'm like, "Oh god." I was like, "Here's the things to look out for." And so here's a laundry list of shit you're about to be up against. And she messaged me, she's like, "Oh my god, this guy's insane." I'm like, "I know, I'm sorry." I was like, "But you know, he pays, and so you kind of have to deal with it."
Right.
Yeah, anytime I've done APs, it's always been like, this is the character I'm looking for. These are kind of the criteria that I want within the art, and then take that and do it.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And I always ask anybody who commissions me, like, "Hey, are there certain things you want to see?" That way I save them the trouble, I save myself the trouble, and we can kind of
Yeah.
zero in on what they're looking for, and hopefully knock it out of the park the first go around. Because there's been times where I do an AP and it was again, it's very rare. Don't get me wrong, it's not like it happens all the time or anything, but like then you got to be like, oh, I have this AP, I got to put it on the secondary market, and hopefully somebody wants this micromanaged AP. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm the exact opposite. I tend to just give very broad directions. Like for all of the Danny Moonstar ones, all I would say is I would give them 4 words, which was Danny Moonstar, Demon Bear, and just trust the process.
Yeah, you're right.
The artist style, and you know what? Do whatever you come up with.
Yeah, for me, it's always like Domino, short hair, no face plate like she had in like 94 MM.
Yep.
And then
that,
I feel like you get better results when you don't micromanage. And I'm not an artist. I go with that just from my own life. Like micromanagers make me want to just immediately quit a job. Like I can't stand it. Like you hired me to do a job, let me do it. Right.
That's why Doom's running that podcast now, right, Doom?
The what?
Elusive was just too much.
Oh,
Shout out to Elusive. Love you, man. We need diecast Elusive.
Need a Batmobile. Yes, episode, please.
we Doom, maybe we should talk about the emotions of the hobby now. What do you think?
Yes, let's talk about them.
Excellent.
Today was a great day. I had many laughs. It was awesome.
That's good.
I needed that puppet show. That was
I needed it too.
Unexpected, man.
It was one of those days where it was just like off all day today. I don't know what it was.
yeah.
So that was good.
We are here for a reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryder asked, have you ever done Ghost Rider or Man Thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you just talked about that with Robin on the rug, remember? For the Man Thing?
I've been propositioned to draw many Man Things.
Andrew, I don't think so. I think this is a commission that he's working on right now.
Oh yeah, no, this is just a personal commission for a customer who loves Hela, and it's not a character you get asked to draw every day. You're like, oh hell yeah.
Now, did they ask for chibi style, or did you just want to run with that?
I requested the chibi style because apparently it's becoming a thing for me to be kind of known to do these. And so he requested this, and then he wants like a really sick traditional comic style one of her like looking real dark and evil and shit like that. So
that fire in the background is killing it too, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. Venom Collector says, I'm amazed at his work. I would have stopped on that card a long time ago.
No. It is interesting too that you mentioned you use these markers because you don't blend. I think a lot of artists would have used the blending tool for the fire, but I think it's come out great. It's amazing just watching you go through and add all those little dots and little lines. Wow.
Duck, reach out.
Well, I think for me, it's a personal taste, like contrast. You know what I mean? I think what for me, at least for me, what attracts the eye is the contrast of like the darkness of her. And this fire behind her, just kind of illuminating, from behind. And then I want to go in and kind of like, halo these darker images with some of the yellow, like the light is radiating, from behind her and stuff like that.
Again, as a non-artist, my curiosity, is that yellow, I don't know what the right word is, but it's strong enough that it can go over the other colors?
Yes. Yeah. That's what's good about this brand, these Postkers. The first time I heard these was not even in reference to art. It was I'm a big wrestling fan, and I listen to I don't know if any of you guys are wrestling fans, but there's a podcast called the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. It's this wrestler named Matt Cardona. He used to be known as Zack Ryder. Yeah. On WWE. They're real big. There you go. No, this is not that guess. Yeah, hell yeah. He was one of my favorite underdog wrestlers, man. But he talks about how getting autographs on your figures, use these Poskas because paint doesn't smear. It is superior to like a Sharpie paint pen and stuff like that. And he's not wrong. After like using them just for this, I'm like, oh fuck, I had to go like buy like different nib sizes and different colors, because it was just like it kind of broadens the possibilities for your work. You don't have to rely so heavily on blending, and you don't have to rely so heavily on trying to create the contrast of light and dark with your markers and trying to get in these nooks and crannies, when you can just wait until you get to this part of the process. You're like, oh, here we go. I'm just gonna throw this here, and it's kind of brings it forward, So
It's like voodoo.
Yeah. Going from blank to just like fully rendered, it's amazing.
And it's such a
appreciate it,
period
man.
of time. Like, I know if I was to try to do this would be like a 3-week project.
Well, when you're drawing, God, since I think I started in 2009, right, 2008 or something like that. So after drawing these cards, I wish I knew. I wish I had a complete tally of how many cards I've done, because I feel like I'm in the thousands at this point. A lot of it's just second nature. Like muscle memory. Like, oh, this goes here, this goes here, this would do this. It just becomes. Let me ask you guys, like, would it be kind of cool if I had like some energy radiating out of her eyes, or no?
like a green kind of glow, like when she's charged up.
Like you had shown, like the Sue Storm one where you had like are you talking like how you have that with her hand?
Yeah, I was thinking about using
Around
this
her
white
eyes?
pen.
Yeah.
White pen to kind of like halo her eyes and have a little bit of like.
I think that would actually look kind of cool, because it looks great on the. It looks great on the
Let's see
Sue
how
Storm.
it looks.
Show that Storm again, Doom, if you got it still. There you go. I think that looks great with the effect on that.
Oh, boom. Okay, so yeah, as you can probably see how it's popping up now after I used it.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It creates a glow. You can see how it's opaque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, good. Thank you. I was unclear whether I wanted to do that or not.
Oh, Spidey Hits is in the chat.
So
what else?
So with that one, is it risky to do that at that point in the card?
Kinda. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Without doing the layering and stuff like that, it makes it hard to go back and kind of correct it, right?
It can be, but the tricks of the trade are, like I can look at cards like I've drawn for people, and I know there's like 20 different things I could have fixed and made better. But if this card's already sold, or if they like it, then what's the point in beating myself up about it? You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, great. I'll take what I learned, and apply it to the next one. You know what I mean? And so, like if had I done that and it didn't translate well, I'd be like, oh well, fuck. Okay, then just next time, characters with a dark domino mask, don't try to halo the eyes.
Venom Collector says, "Is this a full-time job for you, or do you have to keep a side gig while you do this? I'm just trying to figure out how pissed up my wife will be when I quit my job and learn to draw."
Now I will say this: at first, no, it was not my only gig. Is it now? Yes, but I do a lot of Comic Cons and stuff like that, and then a lot of set work, a lot of commissions, a lot of claims, as y'all seen online. I try to the claims. I feel like they're annoying when I put so many up, but like they're kind of like my way of offsetting a daily paycheck. That makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I can.
I mean, even if you think about it, I mean, if you did a claim, if it sells for $50 to $100 and it took you 2 to 3 hours to work on a card to put this much detail into it, that's a pretty damn good pay rate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's been days where in the past where I would put 4 claims up and sell them immediately, and then I made a few $100. I'm like, okay, great. I don't have to stress. I can just work on the set work, and so that's when I do these claims as warm ups. It's kind of twofold. Like, they're warming me up, getting me loose, but then fingers crossed, I draw the right characters and they sell, and I'm like, okay, great. And that goes my PayPal, and I can eat next week. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like, so it's a little bit feast or famine, but I think that comes with the territory of like the experience and drawing the right characters, asking the right questions. For the collectors, that's why I always make those posts. Like, what do you guys want to see? Like, what would make you come off $65? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So.
No, I enjoy seeing the new work pop up frequently in the groups. Honestly, even if I don't have the money to buy it right now, at least I'm seeing great art.
And
You know,
and you know what?
somebody
Like,
else would definitely jump on it. You know, so
yeah, and even if it doesn't sell, then it just goes in the binder or it goes in the little card frames for the show, and
Right.
you know, they all eventually sell. Hardly do I ever have something for more than a month or two before somebody comes up and says, "Hey, remember that card you did?" You know, they slide in my DMs or whatever, as the kids say, and then I go, "Oh yeah, this." And, you know.
So now I'm curious, how do you decide, like, how are you going to decide when this card is done? Because you seem like a bit of a perfectionist, like you're adding more and
Yeah.
more
Right.
micro details. So I'm just curious when you suddenly say, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, man.
It's on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just
Literally,
depends.
you're going to finish a line and you're going to be like, that was it.
Yeah,
I'm-
exactly.
I'm amazed
Yeah.
by your decision making on the
Yeah.
fly. Like you're just making all
Yeah.
these decisions like
Yeah.
quickly. I wonder, like, is it just natural by now because of all the cards you've done, or like how do you
Exactly.
process
That's
that?
exactly it. Because,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm trying not to do too much on these lines where all the fire is, because you know, in theory, light's going to create a thinner line. The horizon disappears, and so you have to.
Mm.
But then again, you also want to pull her off that flame to where she pops up in front of you. You know, I haven't even really done any line work on this little rock thing that she's standing on. That's a whole other ball game about
Yeah,
to
you can
mess with.
see it a lot, like on the upper part of the her left hand. So on the right side of the card, that cape where that line just kind of tapers off, and it's not there. It's non-existent at the end of the card.
Right. Exactly. It's little things like that. That's the kind of shit that irks me as an artist. I'm like, okay, don't fuck that up. Don't fuck that up. And then you fuck it up, like, fuck. And you got to go and try to
Ash
fix
says,
it.
just start over.
Or there you go. Yeah. He's not wrong either. Like, there's been times where you just scrap something, like, man, fuck this. And you just go to start a whole new one.
Have you ever had a collector, like, let's say you sent this and someone made a joke, but I'm curious if this has ever happened. Like, you get to this point and you're like, here it is, and then someone says something like Armando, which is, hey, could you just now add Thor's hammer in here right now when it's at that end point? Like, do you have anyone who just doesn't quite
Oh
get
my
how the process
God.
works? You must, right?
You would be surprised how often that happens. And because I'm like, and to be fair, they don't understand. Like, you know, and that's not to say they're dumb or anything. It's just they don't understand how much like work goes into all these. And then like, you can't just add Thor's hammer. Like, if I was supposed to put Thor's hammer right here on her hand, I would have to like go buy like some sort of ink to like blotch this out and block out a hammer. And to Ash's point, no. At that point, I'm like, no, I'll just redraw it and we'll scrap this one, you know. But no, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
Joseph Reed was saying
But
that on that.
That's why I tell people, like, tell me what you want, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph Reed said that was like his worst experience with like an AP sketch, where like every single time he got to a point, the person would add something to it, and it was just like it was this continual add this, add this, add this.
Yeah,
element.
here's a PSA for collectors. Stop doing that, because what that is, no, and I'm kind of half-heartedly serious about that, because what that is exploiting the price point. Is to say,
Yeah.
okay, I'll draw you a single character for X amount of money, and then they're like, oh, well, what if you put this on here, or what if you added this on here, and da 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 da, da, and they're trying to nickel and dime up to a different price point, and I get it. You want to get as much as you can for as little as you can pay. I understand it.
Yeah.
But like, as an artist, you got to know when to say, no, we will just scrap this one, or I'll start another one. And everybody, you know, generally, if the sketch is that bad where they have to ask me to do something over and over again, I'll be like, all right, you know what? I'll give you one redo. And I've only had to do that a handful of times. And then the guy's like, oh, I want to do this. I'm like, you know what? Here's your refund. I'm sorry I couldn't give you what you're looking for. I'm not sure you know what you're looking for. Hit me up when you're ready, because like,
No.
you know, especially with APs, I'm like, these aren't just falling on my asshole. Like, these are, you know, I only get so many of these.
Now you have to take that AP card and try to move that to somebody else.
Right, exactly.
So,
I mean, like, I think you just have to have like clear communication in the beginning. So, like, okay, is this absolutely everything you want, you know, on the card? Because I've written it before, but I've told an artist like, hey, I want this, 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 and this. And then they send me like the pencil sketch, and it's like it's not at all what I wanted. So I had to kind of like reiterate, okay, let's try this again. But like I ended up buying another AP after they got that one done. You know, there's some cards I don't share just because I want to keep those private. So they don't have NC-17 content. I'm just going to establish that fact there at that point. So
They're just a hard R.
they're just a hard R, yeah.
Do you typically
they're a
send-
hard Skinamax R. No, I'm joking.
Chris, when you do the APs, do you typically send like a penciling of it for approval prior to start doing all the coloring and everything like that, like pose wise and everything? Or do you,
You
just
know,
say, okay,
that's
what do you
that's
want?
a
And
case by
then-
case basis, honestly.
Okay.
I know a lot of collectors prefer to have a step by step thing, and if they request it, then sure, I will do that for them. Do I go out of my way if they don't request it? No, and I'll be honest with you, the fear is that I'm going to end up being micromanaged again. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
I'm like, oh god, not this. You know, but like that's one of the things that we have to deal with as creators on these cards. You want to give the buyer what they want. Obviously, you don't want to shortchange anybody. But it's like if you're willingly opening that door, and it's kind of your fault if it ends up being backfiring. You're like, oh shit, okay. So
Yeah.
you know. But at the end of the day, you guys spend hard-earned money. Like you want what you want. That's I think as an artist, you're supposed to understand that and
And
accommodate
we're all a
that.
little bit nuts anyway, right?
To some degree, sure.
Right, or sketches after dark. Yep.
I want to say this is done, but I need to put some flames coming out between these little rocks here.
Does your wife ever just come in and go like, okay, you're done. Put the pen down. Put the pen down. Put the pen. Put the pen
On occasion, yes, but that's because the only time that happens is when we have some sort of prior engagement that I forgot about. She's like, "We got to be here." I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh man, I still have
That looks so
I
good.
gotta send you those plumeria seeds. Like I said, you definitely want to get some of those planted and have some of those flowers bloomed after going to Hawaii. We still haven't gone to Hawaii yet. I've been growing those plants for well over a decade, and definitely want to go.
That was one of the coolest freaking things I've ever done in my life. It's literally a whole different world out there.
Yeah.
And all the collectors were so kind because it's like they don't get to get any of the mainland artists or anything like that. So I literally just could not. I stayed busy. You know what I mean? Like I still have like 2 old commissions from that show. One's like a 6 AP puzzle, and the other one's like 11x17 Hulk. You know what I mean? So it's like
Wow.
Venom Collector asked, do you hide Easter eggs in your sketches?
every now and then I do like to put in hidden Mickeys, and I do like to put in initials. So good luck.
all people who own your cards now are going to be going through them with like a digital microscope or a magnifying glass.
Nancy
Hey,
says
and
with
you
the
know what?
background is stunning.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And if you find them, like tell me, and I'll either confirm or deny. You know.
Oh man.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop dicking around with it. I think it's done.
Boy, that's
Hopefully, I know my camera
Looks
doesn't
great.
focus very well, but
Oh, it looks great.
I think the owner will be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Piece, honestly. I think you captured Helen perfectly.
you know, it's funny. You say that, and I agree because when I sent the prelim picture of it, like a tease picture, just like her hand and her eyes, he was like, "Can I order 2 more?" It's like, if you want, man. I'd be silly to say no. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, once you get that first one, you kind of get hooked on them. Honestly, like, I've got a few artists that I PC now after getting 1 sketch card, and just
Oh yeah.
I have like an entire 3 binder pages full, of those cards. So
Oh yeah, it's completely understandable. You know.
Yeah.
And anytime somebody says that they go out of their way to collect something I've done or whatever the case may be, I tell them I'm flattered, but I do mean that. Like, for somebody to take the time and the effort to go out of their way to make what I do part of their collection, I'm very honored by that. I know that. Again, I know what it's like to have to, pay bills, and I wish I could go and buy a lot of things I want.
Oh, yeah.
So when people go out of their way to do it for me, it's like, oh wow, great, thank you. I truly do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, man. This was a great experience for all of us, here and everybody in chat. I think they can all agree that we all had a good time, and it's always fun to see how the sausage is made, well, with cards, not actual sausage, but
Hey, I'm not here to judge you,
Yeah.
man. You
That wasn't part of the stream tonight, but stay tuned till next week.
sausage chat with Chris
I
after
got
dark.
another puppet for the.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm joking. No. I'm joking. So
Oh my god,
don't judge me.
too funny.
No, that was awesome, man. That was fantastic drawing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well,
Awesome.
So Matt, were you
I
happy
appreciate
with
you
how
guys
the
having
hand
me on, man.
separated
Thank you
from
so
the
much.
face? Fuller, were you happy with how the hand separated from the face?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, the choice of the lighter color definitely makes perfect sense in retrospect.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea how he was going to do it, so I love it.
Yeah, it looks great.
That fire looks
My inspiration,
so good.
honestly, for that was my inspiration for the lighter color on the hand. Oddly enough, is when you look at someone of African American descent, their hands are lighter on the underside. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, we pull inspiration from some of the weirdest places, right? And so I always think about that when I draw, like I'm trying to separate color and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, in nature does it, so I should be able to try to harness that to some degree. That makes sense.
Cool.
Mhm.
I hope it makes sense.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's
sure
true.
does.
Yeah.
And also, like
Depth to it.
these, this little thing here, my wife's uncle made for me, with his 3D printer,
Nice.
and I'm gonna get more made, and I'm gonna end up selling them. If it, so be on the lookout for that if you want to get, for your display cases. I don't know what the price point's going to be, and it's going to have like a little thing on the back to where you can like lean it back.
Okay.
So I'll be making a post about that. I think it's something I'm going to try to bring something unique to the collector market. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can have like themed ones, like have a Marvel logo or have a DC logo, or I don't know if you get in trouble with that, but anyway, we just.
no,
Yeah.
that's fine. So
All right. Well, hey man, we appreciate it. Like I said, it was definitely a super pleasurable experience. Mr. Fuller, make sure you pay this man.
pay the man.
Don't make us put you on blast, Fuller.
Yeah.
I already sent him a message on Instagram. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, we really appreciate it, man. This is a great experience, and we hope to have you on again in the future. If you ever want to jump on just to hang out too, like I said, this is very just kind of lighthearted discussion. We just kind of talk about anything and everything Marvel, and even movies and TV shows,
Wrestling and
wrestling,
Turtles and
and Ninja Turtles and
apparently
Yeah.
all that's right up my
Frog
alley, man.
amateur puppetry, also
Yep.
funny cartoon voices. But yeah, everybody in chat, hey, we really appreciate you guys being here tonight. We had a great time. We hope you did
Absolutely.
too. And
Yep.
no, I'm not going to hide any sausages and sketches. I'm not a collector. So
Thank y'all for having me on, man. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, Chris,
you.
thanks for coming and joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
everybody had a great night. Thank you for joining us.
All right,
you
man. You
later.
got it. See you guys.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.